Hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy.
Real slick.
I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
Marcus on the beat.
Dominoes, I'm about to make them dollars fold. I'ma have them bitches running like the comic code. In my city, bullets flying, niggas dropping loads. They don't knock on doors, they just break inside your home. Yeah. So my llama close. Yeah. If you get too close, bitches adios. Had to let that nigga know he was doing the most, trying to put my niggas on. All my niggas is broke. You think you broke, it's in your head, you feeling closest to the edge. Just keep your balance on the ledge, and if you fall and bust your head, it's nothing I could do. I know anything is possible, fuck that, ain't nobody stopping you. Gotta be logical, even if I could lose, I still gotta try, my nigga. I was gonna rob a dude when I was losing. I've been fooled by obstacles and I consume many rap beats and I produce. Gotta find my way, I'm trying to move. Why these motherfuckers wanna be kinda cool? I ain't fucking with you niggas, you comical. All I gotta do is give them a rhyme or two, saying phenomenal. Look at what time I do. Give him an opportunity to tie his shoes. I was tripping like book flights, no paradise, just parasites. Nigga been a slave all my life. Wonder why I know how to fight. Cause I had to fight for my rights. You know it's a true war between black and white. Visions of me in the top floor. These niggas gon' hate on my condo. I'm tryna win and I'm waiting like Rondo. Ballin' on niggas like I was LeBron though. Squads in your circle, that's too many waffles. Money, money, that's God, alright. Making niggas sacrifices. Like all these niggas really die for hate. Dominoes, I'm about to make them dollars fold. I'ma have them bitches running like the comic code. In my city, bullets flying, niggas dropping loads. They don't knock on doors, they just break inside your home. Yeah. So my llama close. Yeah. If you get too close, bitches adios. Had to let that nigga know he was doing the most, trying to put my niggas on. All my niggas is broke.
Bitch, I done traveled 1,000 outlet miles. All wild compiling fouls, mine spin out of bounds. Bounce between cutthroat regimes, just below supreme. Draw life defining trials, I've been hiding out in a sense, yeah. Who wanna box and spar with me? There's too many shots in your block involving these stupid killer cops till we bombing all the department offices. Now I done found a proper route till I make a meal from the lines from out my mouth. Since a frightful child while the toss it. Niggas finna boogie down low rounds of countless Glockless. Obnoxious, a body competition, I am highly opposite of fully auto rocket power style. This the tale of a flow so corrupt, it'll leave Almighty God devoured now, my nigga. Commence annual purge. I'm a vandal, you heard, fuck nigga, your head up on the mantle to serve them. I was sure rampant to trample you off camera, was all stances to check when the neck damage occurred, yeah. You better plan to disperse from the game, try banning me first. Lucifer got my soul, now a dead man will emerge, bitch.
I'ma nose. I'm about to make them dollars fold. I'ma have them bitches running like the comic code. In my city, bullets flying, niggas dropping loads. They don't knock on doors, they just break inside your home. Yeah. So my llama close. Yeah. If you get too close, yeah. Bitches adios. Had to let that nigga know he was doing the most. Trying to put my niggas on. All my niggas is broke.
All right. What's going on? All right. So thank you for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. And thanks to those of you tuned in on the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and you already know this is your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to subscribe or unsubscribe, whatever floats your boat. But if you do subscribe, click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur and also on TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, on Twitter at DGoddess27. And make sure you check out the fan page, all right, on Instagram and Twitter. Now, let's see who's in here. Latasha, Juju, Mr. Hotel, Panther Strike is here. I love you right, Black Beloved. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, Timber Dan, Shakira's in the house, Lee Harv, Desmond, Pearly, Bree, Kay. Okay, shout out to my moderators putting in that work. Okay, Jag the Diva, Nessie X, Danny, Tia. All right. Okay, so with that all being said, Truth Montage in the house. All right, Inuyasha. I hope I said that right, beloved. Tia, Cherokee Descendant Dale, Belinda is here. Okay, Buckhorse DC, Lucius is in the house. All right. What's that? Luscious. I'm sorry. I don't have on my glasses. Crystal is here. C-Stan, Emma's Blessed, Tawana, Atira. Okay, let's get into it. Vina, I see you, Sean from the Shy. Hello. Miss Lucille. All right. Lillian X King Lee. Shout out to everyone in the chat, everyone tuned into the Queen. Now, let me just tell y'all something. Let me just go ahead and give my disclaimer. Okay, some of the things I'm going to say during this live presentation is going to tick some people off. And so if you feel that you may get upset if I say something about Vicki Dillard, a.k.a. Wig, well, you might want to go ahead and exit on stage left because what I have to say is going to be said, okay? This is my channel and I say what I like and I like what I say. Now, if you don't, you always have the option to unfollow, unsubscribe, and just hit the block real quick, okay? And also, I'm going to be saying some things about Bussy Reek and the Bussy Reekians. So if you're one of the Bussy Reekians, or if you're in fact Bussy Reek, and you don't like what the Queen is cooking, then guess what? You can exit stage left too. And I would advise you to do so because you're not going to stop what's going to be said. That's just the way it goes. All right? Let me just play y'all a little something just to remind you, because I don't want y'all to start whining and crying later once I get all into the commentary. Start getting in the chat saying little slick stuff, because y'all know I like to drop that link. So anything you want to say in that chat, you can get on this chat, get on this live with me and say it, because I will drop the link. Y'all know I don't care. Okay, so let's get into it. But let me play this for y'all first. Okay, let the church say amen. Amen again. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. Now, before I go in on my commentary about Wig and Bussy Reek and the Bussy Reekians, before I get started with that, let's talk about something that's really important, okay? Because that stuff I'm going to say is not really so important. Oh, well, yes, it is. It actually is. What I'm going to say about Wig is very important. But the stuff I'm going to say about the Bussy Reekians, that's not really important. It's just me being petty. You see, because they like to be petty, and I'm going to show them who's the queen of it. So let's get into it. Now, before I get into that, like I said, let's talk about some very important topics, okay? Because I was actually going to do this live later tonight or tomorrow, but when I got these stories that I'm about to talk about, I got fired up, and I said, okay, let me just go live right now, okay? So everyone Greta said, keep being petty, Queen. Oh, you know I will, honey. That's what us Pisces do. Okay. So everyone, please like and share. Please like and share. So let's get into it. Now, this is a very disgusting, heinous, depraved story, and it really ticked me off when I heard it. Now, I tried to do, find some information on it, dig a little deep. I couldn't find anything other than 2 TikToks that were posted. So it seems to me that they're trying to sweep somebody. And when I say they, I'm talking about the police. I think they're trying to sweep this story under the carpet, under the rug, because I haven't been able to find anything about it, like I said, other than these 2 TikToks that someone sent me. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this up on the screen.
This young man is Michael Corey Jenkins. I need for his family to contact me ASAP. If you know his family, his mother's name is Mary Jenkins. Have the family contact me immediately. We have help for him now. We have help down in Jackson, Mississippi for this young man. All right. I've had several people reach out, attorneys. They want to help this young man. They want to help this family. So have them reach out to me.
Okay, so let me pull up this other one.
Michael Jenkins was beaten, tased, and shot in the mouth by Rankin County, Mississippi Sheriff's deputies while handcuffed and on his knees on January 25th. This happened 3 hours down the road from where those pigs beat Tyree Nichols to death. The pigs in Tyree's case had already been fired by the time these pigs decided to beat Michael Jenkins while he was handcuffed on his knees and play a game to see whose taser was the strongest. That didn't deter them from this savage, brutal beating. Thankfully, Michael Jenkins is alive, but he's in the hospital and he's currently being guarded with a Rankin County Sheriff's deputy in his room. His family can't see him. Justice for Michael Jenkins.
Okay, so you all heard that. So this is very disturbing. Now, they say this young man was handcuffed and on his knees, and they tased him numerous of times trying to see whose taser was the strongest. Now, here's the thing. I have not found, footage of this. I haven't found the information these people have put out, and there's some attorneys who have talked about this case. So that's all the information I have for right now. But this is all real crazy. And like the young woman said in the video, hold on, let me see what this is. Hold on. Okay, here's another video someone sent me. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Everyone, please like and share. Here's another video about it someone just sent me. So let me pull this up, like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm about to share my screen. Okay.
I don't do this often, but Jesus. Okay. One of my church members, his name is Michael Jenkins, was handcuffed, tased, beaten, and shot in the mouth by Rankin County. And currently he's still alive, but he's in critical condition, so they're not letting family see him. And Rankin County is basically guarding him, watching over him in the ICU, and his parents, and we all are just scared for his life. So if you could, we're asking you to donate any amount that you have. I already have. I know that his mom would greatly appreciate it, so thank you. And I would like for everyone to just tag Rankin County, the police department, the mayor, the governor, anyone who can help. Let's just tag them and get him the justice that he deserves, because it could have been your brother, it could have been your dad. Okay, y'all, I don't do this.
This is very disturbing. Okay, this is very disturbing. Now, like I said, I can't find any information. Someone said, where's the video? Well, I'm sure the video hasn't been released yet. The story seems that it hasn't, in fact, been released yet. The people that are reporting on this are people that either know the family or know someone who knows the family. Okay, that's where I got the information from. And like I said, there are some attorneys who, you know, are trying to get in touch with the family because they want to help them. I imagine that Lee Merritt or Benjamin Crump will probably get in touch with them soon. But this is all very disturbing because they say that he was handcuffed down on his knees. Now, I don't know why he was stopped by the police. I don't have details, like I told you, but they say the young man was shot in the mouth. His hands were cuffed. So if his hands were cuffed, how was he a danger, and why did that need to be done? And why are the police guarding him while he's in the hospital and the family is not being allowed to see him? I have so many questions. But this is just awful. This is just awful. Hey, Amir, beloved. Okay, this is real crazy. So, but you know what? This is what's going on. And the sad thing is we have to hear these stories over and over again. No matter how much marching people have done, this has not stopped. So by now we should all know that marching is not the answer. Okay, please stop going out there marching and protesting and any of those things, because at the end of the day, that doesn't yield any fruitful benefits. It is not, it is not productive for us to be out here marching. That's why I don't protest. That's not going to help anything. Okay, you know what protests are good for? Protests are good for people that want to fight against the overturning of Roe v. Wade. People that want to fight against the venom. Though protesting works for that, because you can draw attention to it. These stories, we have social media these days, and so the news travels quickly. So we don't need to protest to draw attention to these things because we can draw attention to them in many other ways at this point. But there's other things that we should be doing, and protesting just isn't one. Okay, and this is all crazy. But if you thought that's crazy, here's another crazy story that also got under my skin. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel or unsubscribe. But if you do, don't forget to click the notification bell. Okay, and click the word all. Listen to this.
Year-old Maurice Harris said another officer, Leon Payne, ordered him to pull down his pants, then underpants. We blurred the video. The teen says the officer grabbed his genitals in full view of others at the store.
It's an unlawful touching of Mr. Harris. It's particularly egregious because it's his privates.
Attorneys Ian Barney and Tim Fischella filed a federal lawsuit against the officers and the city. They say Harris was not arrested and the cops never even filled out an incident report.
It is clear as day on the video that an illegal strip search was conducted and that an illegal battery to a minor was committed.
The boy's family immediately filed a complaint.
Okay, so you all heard that, right? You all heard that. Okay, I just heard about this story last night, and this probably happened like 3 weeks to a month ago. This boy was in the store. The police came in there and accosted him and had him publicly humiliated, had him pull down his pants and all of that, and his underwear as well, okay, in front of other people in full view where they could all see this, groping on his privates and all of that. How humiliating that must have been. This is disturbing. This is very sick, okay? They should be arrested for pedo behavior. I'm just saying, okay, because this is a minor. What is there a need to strip search anyone in public? And let's not forget the black woman that they did this to, these officers, these thugs and badges. They did it on the side of the road because they thought she had marijuana. They pulled down her pants on the side of the road, spread her legs, and put their fingers up there. You all remember that? These are the things these devils do to black people. These are the things that they do. Now, I hate it when they sit here and talk about, oh, you know, these other people are so oppressed. These other people have so many struggles. No one besides melanated people, okay, like us, have these types of things happen to them at the hands of the police. I want anybody, if you found a story where something like this happened to a Caucasian or an Asian, please send it to me, because I have so many questions, because I haven't seen any. I only hear about these depraved, sick, humiliation rituals being perpetuated upon people who look like us. That's all I ever hear. Yes, it is. Absolutely, Otis. sick freaks. Who does that? But you see, this is the same things, the type of things that they did in slavery. That's the type of things that they did. We did not own our bodies during slavery. Our ancestors did not own their own black bodies. And so now a lot of these devils think that we still don't, that they are entitled to do whatever they want to do to it. But they don't think that we're entitled to reparations. That's what they think. They don't think that we deserve reparations more so than anybody they've ever given reparations to. I just want y'all to pay attention. How in the world do people that didn't even have their atrocities perpetuated upon them in this country, on this soil, how do they receive reparations? How do they receive all this money annually? How do they have a whole museum? And then we can't get reparations. Okay? Yes, we need them, Juju. This is beyond sick and disturbing. I just want y'all to pay attention. It's all so disgusting, honey. I'm just fed up. I just want to know when everybody else is going to be fed up too. When everybody else is going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. I have questions. Okay? So anyway, this is another heinous act perpetuated upon our people. So now let's talk about these 3 rappers. 3 rappers came up missing. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong video. We'll get to that in a second. 3 rappers came up missing. Their bodies were found.
Fox 2 sources have confirmed the bodies of 3 missing rap artists have been found. The rappers went missing since a concert in Detroit they were supposed to play got canceled nearly 2 weeks ago. Armani Kelly, 38, Montoya Givens, 31, and Dante Wicker, 31, are rappers who were slated to perform at Lounge 31 on 7 Mile near Gratiot on January 21st, but that event was canceled.
So y'all heard that. 3 rappers missing. Okay, missing. And then they turned up deleted. Now their concert was supposedly canceled, and that's what was the end result. Very sad and clearly disturbing. But hold on, because listen to this. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Everyone, please like and share. Subscribe or unsubscribe. Y'all know how I do. And you know that they have me shadow banned, right? Okay, so let me just dig a little bit further into it. So here's what they say from the Daily Mail. Bodies of 3 missing Michigan rappers are found in a Detroit apartment after they disappeared 11 days ago following a canceled gig at a nightclub. Armani Kelly, age 28, Dante Wicker, 31, and Montoya Givens, 31, were all found deceased. Their bodies were discovered in a vacant apartment in Highland Park. The 3 went missing on January the 21st after their performance was canceled. Now, they say the authorities found their bodies nearly 2 weeks after they vanished. They say the 3 went missing after their performance at this lounge was canceled and called off due to technical issues. I'm sorry, these pop-ups are nefarious. Hold on. So they say, last week, the police found a car belonging to Kelly in the possession of a 15-year-old who was taken into custody. No signs of a struggle were evident in the car, but it was unclear whether the teenager led to the discovery of the missing men. They say Michigan State Police, and let me pull up their pictures on the screen. This is the 3 men right here. So they say Michigan State Police Lieutenant Mike Sh0t told the news outlet that the apartment where the bodies were found is not operating. They say it's supposed to be abandoned, but there are a lot of squatters there. While Sh0t didn't confirm the 3 men's identities, a source revealed them to the Detroit News. They say Kelly's mother, Lori Kemp, previously said that she fears her son has been deleted by former inmates following his release for an armed robbery charge last year. Kemp and Kelly's fiance, Taylor Perrin, first reported him missing 2 days after his disappearance, but it took police a week to realize Wicker and Givens had also vanished in that investigation, in what investigators have called an extraordinary case. Now, Kelly had previously spent 8 years in prison for armed robbery, which is where he met the 2 other missing men, according to his fiance. After their mysterious disappearance, his mother has said that she fears the rapper may have been targeted by those he encountered behind bars. She says, I'm angry because you did 8 years in prison and you didn't die. And now you come out and they delete you. He's gone. I don't care. I love that people are optimistic and I love that they think there's hope, but I know in my gut. So she was saying that she knew her son was gone even before his body was found. So the trio were driving to Detroit together, but it remains unclear if they ever made it to the club. Now, Kelly, who goes by the stage name Marley Whoop, was set to perform just his second ever show when he was told the gig was called off at the last minute. It is understood that the 28-year-old last left his mother a voicemail at around 5 p.m. telling her that he had arrived in Detroit for the show, before later texting his fiancee Perrin that the gig had been canceled. Now, Perrin said she became increasingly worried when her messages to him stopped delivering at around 7:30 p.m. And police said that the phones belonging to Kelly and the two men that he was with have not recorded any activity since that evening. They said, we always had contact. That's what Perrin told the Detroit News. We didn't go hours without talking, or at least sending a text to let the other know we're okay. So my mind is racing. I couldn't sleep last night. I just don't understand how this happened and how there's 3 grown men missing and nobody seems to know anything. Perrin started a frantic search after Kelly stopped responding to her, including tracking his car using vehicle security service OnStar. Now, after locating his car online, she saw that it had been driven to the city of Warren, about 15 miles from Detroit, where it was suspiciously moved 3 times in the days following his disappearance. The car was first tracked to a church 2 days after the canceled performance, before it was then moved to an apartment complex the next day. The vehicle was eventually found in a different apartment parking lot by police 4 days later, without a trace of the 3 men. So crazy. So crazy. So this is just extremely sad. And so they don't have any suspects thus far, I guess. They haven't named any persons of interest or anything like that. But this is real crazy. So anyway, it was reported about 9 hours ago that they were found deceased. Okay. And here's a news clip. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Here's another news clip. Wait a minute, is this it? Hold on, beloveds. Okay, here we go.
An abandoned apartment tonight are believed to be that of 3 missing rappers.
Armani Kelly, Dante Wicker, and Montoya Givens were last seen nearly 2 weeks ago. Tonight, a number of police agencies are zeroing in on a building on McNichols and Log Cabin, not far from Woodward and Palmer Park. Jacqueline Francis has been on the scene all night, joins us now live with the latest. Jacqueline.
Devin and Kimberly, police have been here for hours scouring the area after discovering 3 bodies in the basement of an abandoned apartment building. Police sources telling us tonight they believe they are those of those 3 missing rappers last seen 11 days ago.
All I want is someone to tell me where he's at so we can go home and I can lay him to rest.
This was Lori Kemp earlier today, hours before police made an alarming discovery. Kemp's son, Armani Kelly, has been missing for close to 2 weeks.
Deep in my gut and in my soul and in my heart, he's gone.
Her mother's intuition may now be reality. 3 bodies were discovered in the basement of an apartment building on McNichols west of Woodward. Police sources tell Local 4 they believe they are the bodies of Kelly and his 2 friends, rap artists Dante Wicker and Montoya Givens. All three have been missing since January 21st. Kelly was supposed to perform at a Detroit club that night, but the performance was canceled. He, along with the two others, haven't been seen or heard from since. Kelly's mom says police alerted her to the discovery of the three bodies, but have not confirmed the identities at this time. Around 9 o'clock tonight, Michigan State Police sent their forensics unit inside the building to begin collecting evidence. They said it's going to be a slow process due to the poor condition of the building. They also said it's rat infested. We're hoping to get an update tomorrow. Reporting live in Highland Park, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
We sure hope so. All right, Jacqueline.
This is really sad, like I said. Very disturbing news. But hold on, because there's more bad news. So New Jersey Councilwoman Eunice Dwumfor was shot and deleted, according to authorities. Now, they say the 30-year-old councilwoman in the borough of Sayreville, New Jersey, was shot to death in her car on Wednesday. They say Eunice Dwumfor, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I hope it's Dwumfor. A Republican councilwoman was found by police with multiple gunshot wounds just after 7 p.m. on Wednesday and was pronounced deceased on scene. Now, Dwumfor was inside her car near her home when she was shot. And this is according to CNN affiliate WABC. The vehicle then took off down the road and crashed into other parked vehicles. Sayreville Mayor Victoria Kilpatrick said she was shocked and saddened to learn of Dwumfor's death. Saying she was taken from us by a despicable criminal act. She says Dwumfor worked closely together on the council. She says, beyond her dedication to our community, I can share that she was a woman of deep faith. And so I'm going to go to the report, to the news report. 30 years old, just taken out, sitting in her car. I wonder, was this a targeted hit or, just some person doing something random? You never know these days.
This week, I'm talking to Terry Bradshaw.
Do you think football is too dangerous?
And Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What about aliens and what about UFO?
If there weren't life, it would be astonishing.
Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, Sunday night at 7 on CNN.
In our national lead, New Jersey authorities are looking for a suspect as well as for answers in what a town mayor has called a despicable criminal act. Last evening, police discovered the body of a town councilwoman, Eunice Dwumfor, just after she had been gunned down in her SUV. CNN's Jean Casares joins us. And Jean, they believe this may have been a targeted attack against this Republican councilwoman?
That's the working theory at this point, and what the police are saying is that she was in her car and that just multiple gunshots went through her windshield and her windows. And when authorities arrived at the scene, she was deceased. Now, our affiliate WABC is reporting that it was her vehicle that she was in, that she was actually outside her own apartment complex. And after all of those shots went into the car, that her car went forward at a ascending speed and hit a lot of parked cars in the parking lot of the apartment complex right there. And so she was a council member in Sayreville, New Jersey. She was the first term. She was elected in 2021 for a 3-year term. 30 years old. It was her first elected office. She ran as a Republican, and she actually unseated a Democrat, and it was a huge, it got so much publicity at the time. And today, Democrat and Republican alike absolutely adore her because she cared about her community, they said. She wanted the best for her children and the people, and she was very devoted. Now, on her LinkedIn page, she also talks about that she is the director of churches for the Champions Royal Assembly. And she is Nigerian. It is a ministry out of Nigeria. But she also said that she was looking for new work opportunities. She's a certified business analyst, she says. Here's what she says about herself that she recently wrote in pursuit of new opportunities. Quote, lastly, I am teachable. I can get the job done faster, swifter, effectively, and without errors. As for those around me, I add colors, the brightest colors, with my bubbly personality and strong work ethics. And Jake, that investigation is continuing tonight.
What a loss. What a horrible loss. Are there any leads at this point?
Well, you know, the governor of New Jersey, Governor Murphy, came out today talking about it, and he said that her career in public service was just getting started. And he said that the New Jersey State Police are assisting in all of this, and he himself personally is asking anyone who has any information on this to come forward so it can be solved.
Very disturbing, okay? Like I said. Now, I just want y'all to pay attention, because what if I sat here and said, oh, FBA, somebody FBA probably did it, family. It was probably somebody FBA. What if I did that? You see how stupid that sounds? That's how it sounds when Bussy Reek, when anything happens and he says, well, they don't look like FBA family. They ain't got no FBA hairline. Y'all know how stupid that sounds. But hold on, because we're about to get into Bussy Reek. We're about to talk about it. And some people are going to be mad, as I said, but you can exit stage left. Why are you here? Why are you here when you already know what the commentary is about? Okay. I just have questions, but hold on. Hold on. Now, here's what I want to say. So, you know, some people clearly that identify themselves as FBA, they are very upset with the Queen. Quite frankly, I don't care. Y'all know that. In fact, I really like it. I like when I make them angry, because you see, why would you get angry because I'm voicing my opinion? Don't I have a right to say what I think as they do? I mean, you see, what's interesting to me is that they don't like for me to come on my own channel on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, TikTok. They don't like for me to come on my own platforms and give and express my opinions. But they, those same hypocrites, love to come on my platforms and give and express their opinions of me. I said, what now? They like to come on there and tell me what I'm doing, what they think about what I have to say and all of that, and tell me about myself. They try to go all in, honey. It's okay for them to do that, but I can't go in on Bussy Reek if I want to. Sit down somewhere. Bussy Reek can sit here and he can make cartoons, video games, cookies called Michi Munchies. He can make all sorts of Photoshop images of black men wearing dresses and pumps, and he can sit here and dox people, put all their personal information out on the internet, and he can go and run to the white folk and file, you know, restraining orders and all that. He can do all of that. No one better not say anything about old Bussy Reek, you see. But if I express my opinion about it, it's a problem. They want to call the Queen names. Honey, I don't care about them calling me names. Honey, they can sit down somewhere. Y'all know the Queen don't care. You see, I don't have low self-esteem. I'm very confident in myself, my looks, my knowledge and intellect and everything about myself. I'm confident, you see. I don't really care what other people have to say, particularly other people who are irrelevant. Now, if you're somebody who's relevant to me, somebody that I care about, well, of course, I care what you think. You see, if you're a loyal royal, yes, I care what you think. But if you're somebody who's irrelevant to the Queen, somebody who doesn't even like the Queen, you should know. And if you don't now, you do. I don't give a damn what you have to say, you see. And in fact, I find it interesting and quite frankly hilarious. And that's why, if you paid attention, if you were really paying attention, in my song that I play at the beginning of my broadcast, what do I say in my song? I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad at us. So nefarious, or they don't want my pockets with chatter. I tell them they can do better. That's what I say. And that's what I mean. And that's why I wrote those lyrics, you see. But for some reason, they think the Queen is supposed to get all sad and mad because they want to talk about me. I don't care. I don't care. And then they want to say little foolish things like, let me just read y'all some of the stuff they said. One person in particular. Now, this woman called me ugly. She called me ugly. And now I didn't return the favor. You see, I'm not going to say she's ugly. I'm just going to say she's attractive deficient. That's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say she's attractive deficient. I'm not going to call her ugly. But here's the thing that I thought was so interesting. You see, my thing is, if she doesn't like me, why is she following me on Twitter? And I didn't block her. I told her, I'm not going to block you. I'm just going to let you continue to make a fool of yourself because that's all you're doing. I'm going to let you continue to make a fool of yourself. You see, because I'm not the most attractive person in the world. But I do know that I'm cute. The queen is cute, honey. You can sit down somewhere, honey. You can't tell me I ain't. And at the end of the day, like I said, it matters what I think, honey. That's why it's called self-esteem. Not what they say about you, esteem. Not what she called you, esteem. Not what he said, esteem. It's called self-esteem for a reason. It's what you think and feel about yourself that matters, honey. And I think I'm quite cute, honey. Sit down somewhere. I love my dimples, my eyes, my lips, my skin tone, my real hair. I love it all. So sit down somewhere. Okay? That's what you can do. But while she was talking about the queen and calling me ugly, I said, well, hold on now. Hold on. I said, let me see what she looks like up close. Let me go on her profile because she must look like Beyonce or Halle Berry. Okay? Oh, that's what she must look like. Or Janet Jackson or somebody. Said she want to call me ugly. Let's see what she looked like. And honey, I was disappointed because here's what she looks like. Pay attention. All right? And I'm not even trying to be funny. This is what she looks like. Whew. That's her. That's her. Dragon Lily said, you're beautiful, queen. Thank you, beloved. That's her right there in the middle. Now, which one do y'all think? Let's take a vote. Do y'all think she looks more like the Avatar character? Because my best friend Alicia said, no, she really looks more like Sh0t. So what now? Who do y'all think she looks like? Sh0t or Avatar? Honey, she ain't cuter than the queen, so she can sit down somewhere. That's all. Otis said she looks like a wasp. Somebody said a fish, okay? Well, that's what she looks like to me, too. She needs to have several seats. That's all I'm saying. So, honey, here's the thing. Let me just give all of you a word of advice. Never call someone ugly when you don't even look as good as they do. That just makes no sense, okay? Don't ever do that. But see, I want y'all to pay attention because what I don't do is I don't have to go in on people's looks unless they go in on mine. You know, then I will. But I'm just saying, honey. But hold on. I want y'all to pay attention to this. See that? Y'all see that, right? Those are her eyebrows, honey. I'm sorry, but it looked like she drew her eyebrow on with a Sharpie. You okay? Didn't she draw her eyebrows on with a Sharpie? Honey, please. All right? And by the way, that's a weave in her hair. Let me let y'all see it again. That's a weave. And she's still bald-headed. Bald head, scallywag, you ain't got no hair in the back. Remember that song? That's who she reminds me of. I'm just saying. Hair so short, she got to roll it with rice. Make it all make sense. So how do you get a 27, right, in your head, but you still bald-headed? Girl, bye. What you saying? She got a whole weave in her head, but it's still bald. Make it all make sense. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, there's that. She went in on the queen. I guess she told me, honey. But let me read y'all the comments. Let me read y'all the comments because I got time today. It's Friday and I ain't got shite to do. Okay, at least not until later. So y'all know how it goes. Hold on, beloveds. Her name is Brown Sugar, FBA all day. That's what you call herself. Brown Sugar / FBA all day. Here's what she said. Why are you concerned? None of your money is involved. Girl, get a man or Michi, whichever floats your boat, and get you a life and stop trying to get attention. Nobody's sending for your ugly ass. That's what she said. Well, here's the thing. Oh, honey, I don't have to get attention or try to get attention because I get it every day anyway on the regular, and including from you, fool. And I know she's watching because in one of her comments where she also called me ugly again, in one of her comments, she said something about my YouTube channel. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Talk about nobody sending for me. Well, clearly she was. Yeah, this is what somebody said. Somebody said, another one of my followers on Twitter said, sis has a 27-piece in her hair calling someone ugly. That's what happens when you can't argue with facts. You result to insults. She has her nose so far up Tyreek's ace that she can tell us what he ate for breakfast. She sure can. And let's talk about it because here's the thing. Here's the thing, honey. I can't find her other comment, but no need. But anyway, here's the thing. She's sitting there trying to go in on the queen because she's mad because I said something about that hidden history museum. Okay, aka broom closet. Yeah, I say what I want, honey, because I'm the queen and that's what I do. But hold on. She's sitting there trying to get mad at me about Bussy Reek. But here's what Bussy Reek was doing. Pay attention.
This her. We're back at the room. Show the fellas a little something. I'm keeping it PG-13, fellas. I'm not going to show nothing explicit. That's her back at the room chilling with her little fine ass. I'm keeping everything PG-13, fellas. I'm not trying to be no pornographer. So just in case y'all thought any kind of funny business happened in the room, I was talking about Jesus with her. That's me.
Saying what? So all I'm saying. Now she's mad at the queen. Yeah, she's mad at me because I don't care for Bussy Reek. She's so in love and obsessed with Bussy Reek that she gonna go in and try to call me ugly, try to disparage me and all of that on my own page. Now, in another one of her comments, she called me ugly again, and then she said something about that's why your views on YouTube is going down as of late because of your commentary. Well, I'm glad she noticed, because that lets me know that what are you doing, stalking the queen? I mean, if you don't like me, lady, why are you following me on Twitter and YouTube? I have so many questions. Can she make that make sense? Okay? Can she make that make sense? I don't think she can. All right? Because if I don't like somebody, I don't follow them. I don't follow them. That's what I don't do. But anyway, Bussy Reek, meanwhile, talking about how fine and sexy Becky is, honey. Got Becky all up in the hotel room. But you mad at me, girl, if you don't sit down somewhere with your nonsensical, foolish self. Okay? But hold on. Because since she went in about Bussy Reek, let me just show y'all why she was actually so angry. Why many of them were so angry. Let me just share my screen so you all can see this. Pay attention. This is what I posted to my Twitter. You see, it's a darn shame I can't post what I want to my Twitter without them darn Bussy Reekins getting mad, honey. All they got to do is stop following me. Pay attention. Now, see, this is what I posted. I said, does Bussy Reek know what it means to have an original thought? He copies everything from somewhere else. The white dudes had Bucci Bear for their brand first. Now, as you can see, now Taharka found this receipt, and I just used it and posted it on Twitter. You see, Bussy Reek wants to clown black people and make all kind of foolish cartoons, but even when he's doing so, he has to steal other people's ideas and creativity. He doesn't even have any original thoughts, as far as I'm concerned. That Bucci Bear is the name of some CBD gummies, okay? That's the name of the brand, Bucci Bear. While he's trying to go all in, but hold on. This is another reason they got mad. Hold on, let me play some of Taharka's live real quick. I said Taharka just won't let Bussy Reek grift in peace. These receipts are impeccable. So they got mad because, you know, I reposted Taharka's stuff. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. I just reposted a couple of clips.
You that the people most likely took him in when he was doing Cosmo Flex. I told you that. And so the Hidden History Museum is this guy from the 1990s, you know, and what he was doing, out of all things, he was researching what was hidden conspiracy on the deaths of Martin Luther King, on the deaths of Malcolm X, and on the thing that he came up with was called the Hidden History Museum. Of course, you know that the feds was all over this because this European, he was digging up everything that was showing that the government was conspiring with them. And so it's no shock to me that this guy will use this name, Hidden History Museum. I mean, you feel me? But now, as time went on, he changed the name, but he didn't change it much. So here is the guy, John Judge. John Judge is the founder for the Hidden History Museum. Now, if anybody was back in the day and they watched C-SPAN C-SPAN was the place where all of the controversial stuff went on, even though, you know, people would agree with some. This is where you would see Dr. Khalid Muhammad speeches sometime. You even would see Malik Zulu Shabazz sometime. And this guy here, his Hidden History Museum, or Museum for Hidden History as it will become to be known, he was researching, listen family, this is real talk, man. Now, and this is in DC. I keep telling you, this stuff is not hard to uncover when you know history. History best qualifies. So anyway, the Hidden History Museum was created by this European.
Okay, so now let's talk about that real quick. Hold on, let me clear this up. Let's talk about that real quick before I go to the next clip. So here's the thing. Bussy Reek not only copied Bucci Bear from two white dudes selling these gummies, but he also copied the Hidden History Museum. You see, that name, Hidden History Museum, was out in the 90s, as Taharka showed on with receipts. There was a white man named John Judge who had a Hidden History Museum. Bussy Reek didn't come up with that. He didn't come up with that. He's even used some of that white man's talking points. Now, I've already shown you all before how Taharka pointed out how Bussy Reek talks down on the Moors, but he was going to build a Moors app. So he lied and said, and then he collected $83,000 and didn't do it. He just kept them people's money. But I also told you that he has on every one of his Hidden Color DVDs, on the cover, he has a picture of the Moors Corsica. No original ideas. He's not coming up with nothing. And Dane Calloway has accused him of plagiarizing his work, copying his work. Okay? I've accused him of copying my talking points. All right? And I don't really care who's mad. Like I told y'all, FBA, if you're mad, you already know what you can do. You already know what you can do. And moderators, if you see anybody talking disrespectful, you know what to do. Okay, so now let's go on because I'm going to show another clip. I don't know when these foolish Bussy Reekians are going to learn. Don't F with me when I'm not effing with you. Because this is the end result, you see. I wasn't even going to say nothing about Bussy Reek. I was just going to talk about Wig and her new grip. But since they want to try to come for the queen, honey, since I know that I made them so mad and clearly so pressed, you see, I'm just going to go ahead and do it a little bit more. That's all. That's all.
Agent does, and I'm saying an agent, but I mean informant, anything that they do is something that they got to copy. Do anybody remember that? Anything that they do, it's never original. The Bucci Bear is not original. Those are CBD pills. They're gummies called Bucci. You follow what I'm saying? Nothing is original. And so when people see me dig up stuff on the research, they be thinking that I got some secret. Bucci Bear is gummies. He stole that from gummies. Nothing is original. With these grifters and these infiltrators, you know what I mean? It's always something before them, right? And this is how the people set them up. This is how the government works these people. And when we understand how the soup is just warmed over, we can always find them. You feel me? Do y'all understand? When we find out the framework of how they do these informants, all we got to do is look at the framework and say, aha, there it is. So one thing that I said is, I said they do nothing original. All right? They do nothing original. Right? So here we go. We're going to show you where he got the idea for Hidden History Museum. The idea from Hidden History Museum come from a guy named John Judge, a European out of D.C.
Okay, now we already saw that part, but let me say this. I'm going to show some more clips from Shakur in a minute, but before I do, let me say this. He also talked about how Bussy Reek has palm trees on the front of the Hidden History Museum. Why would you put palm trees on a museum? What does that have to do with Black history? Shakur asked the question, and I also asked that question. But it's interesting because Marcel Dixon has palm trees on his profile, you know, when he was running for Congress. And let me say something about Marcel. Marcel seems like a pretty cool dude. I interviewed him when he was running for Congress, but he did something recently that I don't approve of, and I'm going to speak on it. Marcel has been, you know, promoting this Caucasian Latina who's from Chicago, right? And I think he's running for Congress or something, but at the end of the day, this man claims to be a reparationist. So I heard an upload on someone's Instagram of a Twitter space that Marcel and this man hosted. And this man was talking trash about Pan-Africanists. He was talking trash about Black people. Marcel don't have a problem with that. How are you pro-Black, but you don't have a problem with someone who's non-Black talking trash about Black people? How do you not have a problem with that? And Bussy Reek doesn't have a problem with it either. But I know why Bussy Reek doesn't have a problem with it, because one of his sisters is married to a Caucasian Latina. That's all I'm saying. Make it all make sense. I mean, grift however you want, but don't sit there, foolish Bussy Reekians, and try to come for me when I didn't send for any of you. I'm just voicing my opinion as I have the entitlement to do so. But hold on. Now here's Neferkari Dessalines. He posted a video about Bussy Reek too, and about that Hidden History Museum. See, these are all the reasons why these Bussy Reekians, I shouldn't have said FBA, because it's not FBA collectively. It's just some of them, the ones that I call the Nashidians, Nashidites, and the Bussy Reekians. That's what Shakur calls them. I came up with the Bussy Reekians, but y'all know they all the same, right? But here's why they mad. I just want y'all to pay attention. Let me make sure you all can see that.
Jobs for the local Los Angeles community or California community, wherever this is at. This makes no business sense from a strictly capitalistic point of view. One thing about cash flow, you got to make sure that cash flow is consistent. You got to make sure that cash flow is coming in every day. This line of work, this business, museums, it's not something that people are going to pull up and spend money every single day, 5, 6, 7 days a week. You are better off opening a deli, opening a convenience store, right? Something like that, where you know people are going to come in, spend money every single day, every single morning, every single afternoon, every single night. It would have been a Black-owned business. You would have been providing jobs for the community, and you would have been bringing in the cash flow and the profit, so you no longer got to scam the community and put out xenophobic clickbait titles to drive traffic to your social medias, so you can drive a profit and sell ad revenue, sell t-shirts, things like that. You would have had a real legit business. A legit, honest business that didn't involve scamming, conning, and pushing bullshit. You would have finally been able to look in the mirror and be proud of yourself as a man and be like, wow, I built something. I have something. I own something. You would have graduated from being the local DVD man, the internet hustler. You would have entered the ranks of legit businessmen. But unfortunately, like I said, man, guys like you dropped out in the 9th grade, so I can't expect anything more. I can't expect anything more from somebody who dropped out in the 9th grade. How would somebody like you know anything about business? And listen, I dropped out of school too. I'm a dropout too, but I had the decency to drop out while enrolled into university. I had the goddamn decency to drop out while enrolled into a private university. So I might have disappointed the family when I dropped out, but I dropped out in college. I didn't devastate them like you. You dropped out in the 9th grade, bro. Like, goddamn. In the 9th grade, what were we even learning in the 9th grade for you to drop out, bro? It wasn't even hard back then. It didn't even get hard until later down the line. 9th grade school was still easy. You didn't even have to study back then. But in summary, I can't expect anything more or less from somebody who dropped out in the 9th grade before we even learned about geometry. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines back in the building. Yes.
So that's, these are some of the reasons why they're upset with the queen. Like I said, they were going in or whatever, honey. I didn't care. I went in on them too because I had time that day. But let me show you another reason why they're really mad. And then I'm going to explain something to you about why their anger is so fierce, why they have in fact such vitriol about me saying and voicing my opinion and things like that. Okay, just want y'all to pay attention. And so here you see, let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, hold on. Let me stop the share for a second till I get this right. Likes up, everyone, please. A like and share. Okay, here we go. I mean, like I said, them getting mad and trying to go in, that's not going to do anything but make me go in harder. Like, it's not going to deter me. That's what it's not going to do. The moment I know that I'm ticking you off and bothering you, I wouldn't even let anybody know I was suppressed. But if the moment I know that you're upset by what I'm doing, I'll just keep doing it. Now, you can see this right here. Okay, so I want you all to see what I posted first. I said, the Hidden History Museum. Let me make sure you all can see that. Okay. I said the Hidden History Museum is what so-called FBA donated $1.8 million for. I can't wait to see what type of authentic artifacts it will have inside. How much will the liquor cost? Who's performing the comedy? What vendors will supply the food? This is what Bussy Reek said it will have. You see, he did say that he was going to sell liquor in there when it got dark. So I have questions. Are the children that are there visiting the museum, are they going to be asked to leave while you serve this liquor and have comedy shows? And who has ever known of a museum that was authentic and professional selling liquor? I'm just having questions. Now, but here's what I posted. You all see this picture beside of his museum, right? This one right here is the California African American Museum. It's 42,000 square feet, which I told you all before, and it's not far from where Tariq's is. Now, this one, it's very immaculate. Okay, it's beautiful inside. It's very nice. And so my question was, what's the need for his? Because nobody's really going to come to his if this one's right down the street. And then they got mad about this. I posted another comparison. You see, all these pictures at the top are pictures of the California African American Museum. At the bottom, you have Bussy Reek's museum right here in the corner, next to a barbershop from Compton, and next to a market from Compton. Now, the reason I put the barbershop and the market up is because they look, dramatically similar to Bussy Reek's so-called museum. His museum looks like a storefront. It looks like a bodega. It looks like a barbershop in Compton somewhere. That's why I put those pictures up there. And so they were mad, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't really care about their feelings, all right? That's all I'm saying. Because, feelings and emotions, they really don't trump facts. That's my whole thing. They do not ever, under any circumstances, trump facts. And here's the thing. Let me just explain to you all why they're so angry about these things. You see how the young lady that looks like an avatar or shark tail, you see how she called the queen ugly? And I didn't call her ugly in the comments. I said, okay, beloved, peace and blessings, stay pressed, not stay blessed, but stay pressed, because she's clearly pressed. But I didn't have to go in on her. Now, I knew I was going to get on here and be petty and clown her, but the point is, I didn't get mad when she called me ugly, because I know I'm not ugly, okay? Even if she thinks I am, I know I'm not, okay? But here's the thing. When people get mad and angry and act out of character and lash out, beloveds, that's because they are angry. They're mad. And why are they mad? Well, because it's the truth. You see, if I was sitting here telling lies on Bussy Reek and Wig when I was exposing her, people wouldn't really have cared. They'd have just said, girl, you lying. They'd have left it at that. But because the things that I'm saying are factual, they're mad. And that's why they're angry. That's why they're attacking me verbally. I don't care, but that's why they're doing it, because the truth is what hurts. The truth is what hurts. Now, lies can, of course, hurt too. But in this case, it's the truth that's hurting them. It's the truth, because they know that everything that's been exposed about Bussy Reek is, in fact, true. And I'm going to tell you something else, how you know that they know it's true. is because Bussy Reek won't address any of these allegations. He won't address any of these things being said. The only thing that Bussy Reek does is he goes and makes cartoons. He goes and does video games. He clowns people on lives, putting on masks and all of that. He insults people. See, that's what they do. They're a product of Bussy Reek. They insult people when people have facts that they can't dispute. They do that. They resort to immature, childish insults. And here's the thing. The young lady, Brown Sugar, FBA all day, when she was calling me ugly, she didn't say it once. In every comment that she posted, she made it her business to tell me that I was ugly. Now, I'm not ever that interested in another female's looks. Okay, I'm just not. But here's the thing. When someone makes it a point, beloveds, to talk about your facial features and things like that, or your body or whatever, they're jealous. That's all it is. I'm saying, now, if I were actually ugly, well, then I could say, well, she's got a point. But when you know that you don't look the way the person is saying that you do, Rashida says, you're a beautiful queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay, thank you. One Love says, oh, you're not ugly. Thank you, beloved. But here's the thing. When someone is calling you ugly or whatever, and it's something that you know you're not, that should tell you that the person's just jealous. And it's so obvious that she was jealous because she kept saying it. And see, this is nothing more than an attempt to lower your self-esteem, to make you feel bad about yourself. Let me tell y'all something. Thank you, beloved. One Love says you're pretty. Thank you, beloved. Here's the thing. There was a young girl, 16 years old, that used to follow me on Instagram. Beautiful young girl. She was half Black and half Korean. And there was a transgender girl on YouTube who was not attractive. And so every day she would come on her platform, on her channel on YouTube, and talk trash about this beautiful young girl and talk about how she's ugly and telling her to delete herself and saying all sorts of hateful things. Now, this young girl sadly took her own life. She took her own life. And those of you who are my day ones, you likely remember when I reported on the story. I talked about her story when I did an episode about cyberbullying. And I talked about children and teens who were cyberbullied until they deleted themselves. It was very hurtful, and my heart is still broken about that. But that young girl was beautiful. There was nothing ugly about her. You see, the person who was bullying her, because that's what it was, when they were bullying her, they wanted to put it in her head that she's ugly. And the reason they wanted to do that is because they knew that she was beautiful. And they, in fact, were ugly, not only on the outside, but on the inside. Okay, so they were clearly projecting. And so when you have someone, beloveds, who sits there and attacks your physical being and all of that, because they have no arguments, because they have no facts to disprove your own, that's just someone who's projecting. These people are always ugly themselves, inside and out. They're not ever attractive, you see. And if they were attractive, because what attractive people don't tend to do, most of them, is go around calling people ugly, you see. That's what people who have low self-esteem do. And they project themselves and their own insecurities onto others, hoping that they can make you as miserable about yourself as they are about theirs. Okay, so just remember that, beloveds. Just remember that, okay, for future references. But hold on. So let me show a few more minutes of Taharka's broadcast from the other night, because there was a man on there who said that he's 50 years old. And I would think that at the age of 50, he would be a lot more wiser. But he actually identifies as FBA. Now, he was on Taharka's show before. He made a complete fool of himself, as far as I'm concerned. And so as far as many others were concerned, because they let him know in the chat. So he wanted a do-over. He asked Taharka if he could come back. He made excuses for himself. He said, oh, I was nervous and this and that. I want to come back. So unfortunately for him, Taharka did let him come back. And sadly, this time he made an even bigger fool of himself. It was painful to watch. But I'm going to show some clips. Mr. Hotel said his name is Big T. Yes. Okay. JJ says, yeah, lower your self-worth. Yes, that's what they tried to do. Okay, now let me share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Based on the idea where he's going. I mean, he based, okay, like I said last time, if you want to let me finish, he started with ADOS and he got to where he created, before he created FBA, he was with another, let me finish. He was with another organization. The criteria is that he didn't like what was going on in that organization, so he created his own. So when you said that, if it created his own for what? Reparations. So he created his own for Black people to have an identity to collect reparations, something that was created before him. Reparations is not Tariq's creation.
Let me
FBA is.
Say it again. Reparation is not what?
FBA, he did not create reparations.
No. He created FBA to achieve reparations.
Right. So what's the question? What's the question, Tom?
This is too much, man. Brother, can you turn your FBA card, please?
What? I'm just saying, there's no step-by-step. It's that, hey, listen, I create this for this purpose. That's the step-by-step. You in your mind, you trying to you give Tariq too much.
No, brother. Tariq gave himself too much props. Tariq made the flag. Tariq made the acronym. Tariq made the website. Tariq made the shirts.
Nobody's done that. Nobody's saying that.
No,
he didn't
listen
do
what
that.
I'm saying. So don't say I'm giving Tariq too much credit. Tariq created everything that comes with the foundation of FBA.
Yeah, I mean, he created a flag. So what? What's the big deal?
What I'm
you
saying
have a flag. Morris Science have a flag. The Moors have a flag.
I have no problem with that, but I can explain. I can explain that though.
Why you need a flag? Why you need a flag, Tahar?
That's a national descent flag.
Everybody got a national descent flag. FBA, whatever. Listen, he created that flag because he created FBA. So he created a flag to go FBA. It's like saying, okay, if I want to create this, I create a hat, right? But I want a shirt to go with this hat. I want to create a shirt. I stop there. I want to create a belt. I want some pants. Matter of fact, why I stop there? I want to floss with some socks, some shoes, some sneakers. I mean, like that's the man's creation. I mean, that's what he wanted to do. He didn't have to do that, but he just wanted to do that, Tom.
I think you're missing my point. What I was trying to say is that Tariq owns FBA. And without Tariq, you wouldn't know where FBA is. Is that correct?
No.
Would you, if Tariq would have never coined the phrase FBA, would you be calling yourself FBA that today?
No.
You wouldn't. This is why I'm saying Tariq is the only one that can create the standard because he created the term.
We don't care about the standard as long as the standards work. We are old money. We are old. See, I'm not looking at FBA. So you looking at.
Do you mind if somebody in the audience said, "Can I drop a link for other FBAs to chime in?"
I
would like Ishmael Bey to chime in also because I want to ask Ishmael Bey a question. The same question I asked you, and I'm pretty sure Ishmael Bey can give a definitive answer, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm almost sure. But I dropped the link. He says y'all can come in. This is my bro. And let me tell y'all something. Big T is my brother. I don't care what nobody. That's my brother. I'm trying to wake him up. I'm trying to get him off the Kool-Aid. You know,
I sleep hard, man. I sleep hard, bro.
Listen, I'm trying to get him off the Kool-Aid. I'm trying to make sure that Big T know that without organization, without organization to a destination, there will be no success.
I disagree with that. History says otherwise. For Black people, listen, for anybody else, I would say yes. For Black people, That's, I don't care what type of organization, it's going to be infiltrated and it's going to be burnt down to the ground. All organizations are burnt down to the ground, and black people do not benefit from that, bro.
But do you know why?
Organizations don't work for black people, man, because it's a racist system.
No, that's not why. It's because we haven't figured out that there is infiltrators already there selling us ideas to get us running in circles. And
that's what I just said. I just said the same thing.
So listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. The moment that we figure out to discern something that is worth something and something that is worthless, we'll be better off. I got Ishmael Bey in the building, Moorish World TV, foundational Moorish World TV. He was here. He's a day one. He's a day one. He helped me build Moorish World TV from the ground up. Him and Ali. He's a day one. He's a day one. Ishmael Bey.
Peace, family. How y'all doing this evening?
I'm doing well. You was on my show on Moorish World TV 7, and we was talking about your lineage. When you talk about lineage, what how do you describe when you talk about your lineage? What's the description?
Your lineage is gonna be your direct bloodline, your proven bloodline of who makes you, what you are. We all have the same amount of ancestors. Since you're walking this planet and I'm walking this planet, we all have the same exact amount of ancestors.
Right. Now, with that being said, when you trace your lineage back, what do you bump into as a lineage? What do you run into? How do you identify?
When you're trying to identify what your lineage is, you're going to be looking at things like your census records, your oral records. The documentation could be birth records, death records, so whatever the documentation is, that's how you're going to identify or prove where you descend from.
Now, do you think that you are able to receive reparations through your lineage, Ishmael Bey?
Reparations through my lineage. Yes, I would say that. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, so now, do you have a step-by-step process of identifying your lineage and now going to get the bag?
Yes, absolutely. As you know, we have our petition.
Hold up. I want to go slow.
Sure.
You hear how confident he just said that? Absolutely. And then he was ready to just go ahead of my next question because he has a plan. He identify his lineage, and the next step is go get the bag, and I'll let Ishmael Bey take it from there. The brother dropped off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious about the brother. My question that I was asking, the brother in the forum is that he was saying that HR 40 was the criteria of the foundational.
Hold up. He dropped off for a second. Hold up. Let me get Adam in here. Adam, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, family? How you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. I'm glad you're in here. Can you hold for a second so I can get Ishmael finished talking and I got you?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, you FBA, brother?
Hey, man, I'm FBA, man.
I love you, brother. I love you. No. I want, and this is good. I want true FBAs to come in here because even if I disagree, we all under the same boot and we're going to get this thing right. But this is a blog show conversation. We don't need no wicked, evil people coming in here talking crazy. With that being said, Ishmael Bey, let me mute everybody. Ishmael Bey was about to ask Big T a question.
Okay. Yeah, my question was, you said that HR 40 is the criteria of FBA. Is that correct? That's what you said?
Yes, that's what's out there. The different reparations that's out there with HR 40, yes.
Okay, so with HR 40 being headed up by Sheila Jackson Lee, and she's of Jamaican descent, how do you explain that?
I don't agree. I don't agree with none of the HR 40s. None of them.
You just said HR 40 was the criteria.
That's the criteria that's laid out for for FBAs. That's the criteria, but I don't accept that. I disagree with that. You know what I mean? I disagree.
Right, but she's the head of it.
I just said I disagree with that. That's why.
But she's the head of it, though.
I just told you I disagree with that.
So then how is it?
Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you, sir.
Okay.
HR 40s, I disagree with it because it has the language in it is not right. It's not right. Tariq's reparations mission statement is correct. FBA has it right because we are talking about specifically FBA, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. That's it. HR 40 is talking about African descent. It's talking about people of color.
Hey, brother,
Sh0t Jackson is not where I'm.
Can I interject real quick? Why did you bring that up? What made you bring that up then?
Because
okay.
Well, that's why I'm trying to ask the question, brother. I asked you what the criteria was. You said the criteria was HR 40. I then point out that the person who's running HR 40 is of Jamaican descent.
No, you missed something because when I was talking to brother Tahaka, that's not what we was talking about. He was asking, we was actually talking, I was making a distinction between HR 40 and what Tariq is doing. So Tariq, like the question was earlier, we was talking about what Tariq criteria is, what he's, so I said, well, his thing is reparations.
Okay,
right?
so
what I made a comparison with the other reparations that's out there, which I disagree with.
Okay, so what you're saying is that HR 40 is not the criteria of foundational Black America. So you back it off of that statement.
I never did agree to it.
That is the statement that you made.
You misunderstood me then.
Well, how about this? I'll make it easy for you. I'll make it easier for you. The term Black means that you're of the ethnic groups of Africa. That's what the term Black means by the U.S. Census.
Okay.
So if the term Black means that you're of the ethnic groups of Africa, how are you saying that you're foundation to America if the prerequisite is that you have to be African?
Huh?
You're saying that if I'm a descent of Africa?
The term Black, if anybody pulls up the census term for Black, it means that you are of the ethnic groups of Africa. That's what the term Black means. If you're saying that you're foundational,
the Africans don't call themselves Black, sir.
Wait, tag me.
When it comes to selling your products online, Instagram can help your business connect with people who love to shop.
Tag me in.
You coming in, Adam. One second.
They have nationalities, bro. Black is a term that's used but for Black Americans and for America. That's what the term Black, Negro, and colored, or nigger. So when we say Black, we're talking about the lineage. Yes, there was some that came over, yes, from Africa, but there was some that came over from Europe. There was some that came from the Caribbean. So, but with the term legally, we are Black Americans. That's the legal term.
Okay, and using the term Black means that you're of the ethnic groups of Africa.
Yeah, but we're not African though.
Hold on. Let's pause for a second. Hey, Ish, you got a second? Are you busy this evening?
Do I look like an African to you?
Hold up. 1 second, brother. 1 second. Ish, you have a second. I want to bring in Adam. Are you busy this evening?
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's bring in Adam real quick. I like this conversation. Hold up. Before I bring in Adam.
Using the term Black means
Ching. Cut your mic. Ching. We got feed in the back.
We're not African though.
Ching.
The creator of it. Now that's my statement.
Brother. Now that's a filler plebiscite buster.
Nah, brother.
Listen.
Break it down.
This is why he's the creator of something that pre-exists, just like you said. But he's still the creator of it. Many of us
explain that.
I'm about to say, many of us already know that we've been saying that for way before Tariq even come up with the term FBA, that we built America, that America is built on the back of our ancestors. We've been saying that. So the point of the matter is the matter of getting reparation it's not the matter of identifying yourself as FBA. It's actually come together as a collective and putting legislation together and go and get the bread. You can call yourself whatever you want in this world today, but the real nitty gritty goes down to when you're able to trace yourself back from the African American, Afro American, Black, Negro, colored, and back into that 1870 census and prove who you are. FBA has no bearing whether you're going to get it or not. Your lineage that you're talking about is really tracing yourself to that census. Has nothing to do with FBA. Our people already knew that we built this country. When we was calling ourselves Black, we knew we built the country. When we was calling ourselves Negro, we knew it was built on our back. FBA, and this is why FBA as a term is suspect, because everything that's associated with FBA as the term has been trademarked, and there is no real movement. It's just you and others screaming FBA, marketing FBA, and somebody going to the bank.
Can I add something to this?
Let me pause, because I don't want you to go nowhere, Adam, because can I have Adam respond after you go, Ish? And then I'm gonna let Big T, because it's Big T show.
Yeah, absolutely. No, brother can answer you. No, it's all right. I can wait.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Okay, now I would say to that, I'm with you. The census, like you said, we've been knowing this, or it's somewhat common knowledge, but I would say the term FBA is popularized this concept. Not everybody, you saying everybody been knowing we built this country, this, that, and the third. Not everybody knew that. Not everybody was thinking like that. So him popularizing this term, foundational Black American, right? And even the name foundational Black American, it defines exactly what it is for people that didn't know. Even right now. No, listen, wait, I'm not done.
Okay, I got you.
Even right now, what we talking about right now, FBA, is popping. It's popping. Name somebody else. Name another concept like this that could be another term that could simplify. My bad.
You like
simplify.
me? We FBAs because we butcher words. You answer
yeah,
me.
man.
Nah, I'm glad.
We back in though. We back in for real. But yeah.
I want to answer too, and I gotta bring Ish, and I got another brother coming into. But
can I just say my closing statement? All Black people should come together and come on one accord, against white supremacy. I would love that. I think that we would all love that. But based on the history, based on a lot of the patterns that we've seen with the Pan-Africanist movement, it doesn't seem to be working, right? It doesn't seem like we are coming together. So how long do we wait? I'm gonna just ask this: how long do we wait for these other people to come on one accord with us when it seems as though they don't really rock with us like that?
Brother,
I just want to say that, but wait. Before I want to say that,
answer too, and I gotta bring Ish, and I got another brother coming into.
Can I just say my closing statement? Can I just say closing statement? Oh yeah. So and I'm gonna just let you answer that. But like I said, I'm a big Tariq fan, man. I had to come in. I see you've been shadow boxing with my dude. You've been shadow boxing with him a little bit. So
I've been jabbing. He getting hit. He getting hit.
You miss it. You keep missing, man. I'm watching your videos. I'm like, you're watching the videos. You ain't got nothing on the man. But that's my family. I fool with him, so I just wanted to come in and holler at y'all, man. But I love you too, though.
Always defend your family. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you pick them up when the knockout punch coming, because it's all the way.
Oh, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be right there with him.
But let me say this. I appreciate you, brother. Let me say this. I wanted to respond.
I got a question for the brother, if I can ask.
One second, Adam. What did you say? And I said I wanted to respond. You know what I mean? Oh, I know. You said, do we supposed to wait on somebody? No, that's that old Christian way of thinking, waiting on somebody. You carry the torch to make sure that your children knows that these are your people and they wake up when they wake up because you woke up when you woke up. It's your responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility to come to you and say, here I am, I'm awoke. No, it's your responsibility to let your children know, to let your community know that these are your people. We're fighting this fight. They're fighting another fight. But these are our people. We don't fight each other. That's the point. The rhetoric is the issue. The issue is not that they accept me and I accept them. It's the rhetoric that's the issue. Now, at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Of course, we know brothers, when out in the 80s, we looked at brothers coming from Jamaica as the real gangsters. When they came, they laid the whole block down in the crack era. However, when we got to know brothers from Jamaica, they brought us a better sense of culture. They brought us a better sense of identity by seeing them accept their culture and identity as Rastafari. And so now we begin to say, what is ours? They influenced us in such a way that it surpassed the crack era. It surpassed the crack era. So the moment that we demonize our brothers and sisters by perpetuating this concept that you are better than him, you are better than them, we fall right into that trap designed by the European for our demise. And that's what he has done for thousands of years. For thousands of years, this European has done this. And we carrying on by the way of your friend, your brother, Tariq. Tariq should never have a doctrine that looks at somebody else and say, "Oh, that's a non-FBA because of a
freedom of speech, bro.
And then brothers say, "See, that's European."
Freedom of speech, bro.
You should never do
freedom
that.
of speech, bro. Nah, bro. No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
No, you can say what you want, brother.
Let me say this. We're still talking about reparations for foundational Black Americans in this country. That's it.
I got you. Let me get Ish, and then I got
to get. Why you did that, bro.
Okay, let me get Ish in, and then I want to get Gravity. I think it's gravitating away. I want to get him in, but Ish say he want to ask you something, Adam.
Yeah, I got a question for him.
I'm actually about
for you.
Dip out. I'm about to dip out. I mean, I can answer really quickly, but I'm about to go.
Okay. Michi X brought the trademark to Foundational Black America. How do you explain that?
How do I explain that she bought the trademark?
Yeah, she registered it before Tariq. How do you explain it?
I don't. Why does there need to be an explanation for that?
Because she registered the trademark. That's why.
Okay, so what does that mean? That means she can just put it on T-shirts, or what? What is that? What's the significance? What's the significance of this question? Could you break it down a little more?
Sure, I'll be happy to. Boyce Watkins was attacking Michi X, and Michi X bought the trademark to Your Black World. That used to be Boyce Watkins' own label. She bought the trademark, and he had to remove every song, every video, every reference to Your Black World because she owns it.
Mm-hmm.
She then had a beef with Tariq Nasheed. Okay. Tariq Nasheed had tried to register Foundational Black American, but he failed. He didn't follow through with it.
Mm-hmm.
She then picked it up and registered it before him.
Okay. Okay.
How do you explain it?
Michi X is the leader. No, I'm just joking.
I mean, you explained it by she went and trademarked the term. I mean, she went and trademarked the term. I mean, I don't see.
So y'all just waving the Michi X flag? Is that what y'all doing? What are we doing here?
I don't wave a flag.
Listen. Let me answer that. No, it's a concept.
Stand by. You up next.
It's a concept. This is a concept. You keep on trying to make it seem like it's this is a brand or something like that.
I'm not making it sound like anything. I'm just saying that she owns the trademark.
Well,
it's definitely a brand, brother. You got to admit it is a brand.
Well, it could two things can be true at once. Two things can be true at once. It could be a brand.
It's definitely a brand.
But the way that I'm looking at it is the literal FBA, the concept. I'm not looking at it as a brand.
Why wouldn't it just be? I think it'd be better to say it's an identity, maybe. Because when you use the term lineage in itself, you know what I mean, you actually disqualify it when you really know what a lineage is. when you use it from a scholastic point of view. But I know you got to go, but I appreciate you, bro. Anything you want to say in closing? Give a shout out to Tariq.
Oh man, I want to shout out Tariq, man. That's my dude. Look, man, that's my dude. Look. And to Harker, you ain't got nothing on the man. You keep on swinging, you keep missing, but we gonna keep tuning in to watch because it's funny, So, but I appreciate you having me up, though.
Hey, brother, let me say I really appreciate you, and I hope more people can come through like you that could disagree with me, but smile and be brotherly and be friendly until we get to the bottom of this. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if you do bring some significant evidence, and if I see it and I'm like, oh damn, that he got him, I will be honest and be like, oh, you got him, but I ain't seen that yet.
You're tuning in because you know that there's a possibility that it exists. It's coming. Many people have seen it. Many people have seen enough and are convinced. You're just not convinced yet.
I'm not convinced, man. But
getting into all of
Getting an LLC for your business doesn't have to look like this. Just Google LLC Taylor Brands. It's totally easy.
this back. You guys have this personal beef with Tariq.
No.
So you being me. Listen. No. But see, we're talking about. Well, no. That's yours. You have a right to feel that way, brother. You have a right to feel. I don't feel that way, and we're never gonna agree.
But that's not what we're talking about, brother.
No, what you're doing, you're slandering somebody else. You're slandering the brother.
Okay, can we start over? Brother, you my elder. Can we start over? Listen, because the Nasidian is strong in you. Listen, the Nasidian is strong in you, so let me go ahead and separate that. Forget that, because I felt foolish. I felt like I was it's like talking sometimes.
No, that was very
to
powerful.
My son,
but let me say this to gravitating away, brother. That was very powerful. There was nothing babbling about that. I am. Let me finish.
Man.
Yes, sir, brother. I seen that you was right there waiting to go. So I'm gonna just release the floor to you, brother. Lay it out. Tell me what you got for us.
Well, it takes time and patience, and when you understand what the key element of withholding knowledge is before you pass it out, trying to be the master of your own self, trying to understand that this thing of ours has consequences when not used or utilized correctly. I'm sorry, I got a bunch of babies here, and I really wanted to tap into this because we forget that we are brothers, man. And when you got a message like Tariq, many of us, I'm on YouTube. I got a YouTube channel, so every now and then I got content, condemning Tariq, and it's from watching him over the last 15 to 16 years. And this man piggybacks off new scams, new tactics, new angles. And as a man of common sense, understanding what that detrimental knowledge can do to the young ones. A lot of you older folks, I'm not trying to go back and forth too much. Taraka is a teacher, so it's his job to do that. And by the way, the last brother had a positive energy, but he's lost. He's lost. And there's nothing wrong for us to call ourselves out. Like, I'm not going to be a father of 6 and be scared to not have OCD and come back and, wait, what did I just hear? Let me correct this, because I know the power of that. I remember in the 90s growing up here, and I watched divisions of different ethnic groups within our diaspora. Jamaicans versus Haitians, Haitians and Americans going at it. Dominicans till this very day, majority of them they're darker than me and don't even consider themselves black. Listen, man, we use the phrase so-called black because it groups us in the diaspora. There's no other power than calling that black. Even the essence of what that is. We are Alpha Omega, original man. How could you be scared to use it? Why would you want not to identify with that continent over there? I mean, bodies of water won't change lineage. This is where you guys are missing the point. So you can call yourself FBA if you want to characterize a group you're in. And brother, you're 50 years old or older, I think, right? The guy in the truck. Let me sit down because let me sit down for a second. Let's talk for a second because I got young men I'm raising and young queens. Let me talk to you, brother. It's not that you're not intelligent. A lot of you guys that attend these movements, specifically FBA in the last recent, 2 years solid, maybe more, but solid 2 years, some type of motion. You guys have internal issues that Tariq can identify. Let me teach you something, brother. In my wicked days, it was nothing to find a wide-eyed girl walking around lost, and I'm gonna give her some sauce and game, make her think I'm her God. Give her every angle. You are talking to a master manipulator when you're listening to Reek. See, a lot of us that are coming at them, shame on you older folks for calling what the younger kids should call us. I understand if a younger guy say I'm a hater. He don't know better. You're old enough. A lot of us are not going to waste our energy and time unless we understand the research. It takes time before you call somebody out. We do it responsibly. We want to have conversation and dialogue. The majority of you guys, the lot of you don't want to talk. You take on the mantra of Tariq and you babble jokes. You say offensive languages that, listen, people get killed over, brother. And I don't advocate that. But this knowledge thing is very powerful. A lot of us aren't going to make it. So shout out to the ones, including you, Tariq, that understand I may not be the pedestal of this movement. In general, it's a movement in the entire world because we are Alpha Omega. I may not be the one that gets the light, but thank God I've done my supreme lessons to give little seeds here and there to know I'm walking righteously. It takes patience. Listen, brother, I'm talking to you. You're my senior, but not by not that many. I'm 38 now, and I'm telling you the things I've seen. It is our responsibility to understand who we follow. A man gives you a doctrine and then says he's not your leader, brother, run for the hills. You don't take that doctrine and spread it out. Listen, brother, listen, because I have to be careful with my words. And the fact that you're getting ready to talk and not taking it in, and it's fine, I understand where you're coming from. You are embedded in this ideology that started from a scam artist. That's all I'm saying. Okay, you may very well believe in the aspects of FBA. I'm telling you, even though he doesn't want to claim it, I'm going to claim it for him. Your leader, Flex Tariq Nasheed, has been a disciple of agents, of division, confusion. Last time I checked, those are all the elements of a damn wicked devil. And I don't use that word loosely, brother. So while he's taking his family on trips with that non-so-called FBA wife of his, while he's going on trips, promising you a church storefront museum where you gave millions to, I hate it for you. It infuriates me. I may throw my little jokes here and there because the man in me doesn't want to accept that our people are hard and stubborn when it comes to listen, let's just say me and you don't agree, right? And I don't want to just ramble on. Me and you don't agree. But the intellectual aspects that we should have for each other is to properly analyze each side's argument, not resort to deflection tactics that Tariq has taught you guys very well. Words such as tether, saying we're non-FBA, so now I can't even have a real dialogue for you because let's just say me and you come from Mobile, Alabama, same lineage, but the minute me and you don't agree, I'm non-FBA. That doesn't hurt the real man that understands who he is. It's just detrimental to the young people coming in watching this as a trend. I don't agree with it. You're 50 years old. There should be no reason that you are not the man of your own home in terms of this knowledge. No, someone like Tariq cannot be the one schooling you with facts. And you guys love to say he's not your leader, but none of you was walking around claiming FBA just 2 years ago. Like, cut it out. That picnic in Washington is the perfect example. Tariq has over 500,000 followers altogether in all his platforms. If you guys truly believed in this movement, you know, not that it's something else other than a comical show that you want to see Tariq make his charisma and jokes and get you going. You got your little shot of dopamine, now you good, but you won't follow through for the full mission. Like, if that was the case, 25% of you guys should have been going out there in Washington, fulfilling that movement. It was barely like maybe, I don't want to hurt your feelings, maybe 2,000 of y'all. That told me everything I needed to know. You guys don't even believe in this movement. When you're upset about things, it's almost like Hitler looking at an audience of people that he could easily run game on. There's nothing new. White, black, people's been doing this for years.
You haven't said anything substantial to combat.
Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Where you from,
Right
bro?
here in
Where you
Florida.
from?
But hey, cut
Where
out
you
where I'm
from, bro? Where you from, man? You only talk.
I'm a military vet from right here in South Florida. But I'm going to do the question for you. You wanted to ask me where's my family from. My parents are from Haiti. You see, I know your angle.
There we go.
So
There we go. There we go. Bro.
Let him finish.
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. You tell me there we go, because I didn't insult you one time. So now you tell me, by me saying where my parents are from, who's been here since a beautiful age.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. Some nation of Black America talk like. All right, hold on, bro. You sit up here. Can you hear me?
I hear you, bro.
All right. You sit up here just babbling, bro, and you have no idea about what you're talking about. You have accepted. See, many people, many, even FBAs. You guys have accepted this new era of history, brother. When you go back 50, 60, 70 years, they all talk like me. Tariq is only saying shit that we've been saying from the 1950s and 60s. When there was a black, hold on, listen. It has always been a black thing. We have always, our history, our people, from the 50s, the civil rights movement, they all talk like this.
Hey, brother, do you hear yourself? Let me stop you for 1 second and interject. Do you know that you sound like a European, quote unquote, white racist? That back in the day when we were coming up and trying to educate our own self and our own children, the European white racist says, them niggas, look how they talk. They don't even know English. They can't even speak. When you need to look, like, these are the sentiments of Europeans that will try to demoralize and dehumanize those trying to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, if you will, educate themselves to move into a better space in life. You sound exactly like, it's like you're echoing a 1940s European talking about our people. You sound exactly like that.
You sound like you're Democratic. You sound Democratic.
Well, I'm not though.
You sound like a Democratic, bro. You do. No, Democrats are not for their people.
No, I'm not any of that.
I
don't go with them labels.
Like, anyway, what I was saying to you is that our history, we have identified with foundational Black America. That's just a term that was created for reparations. Excuse me, that was the term for reparations. You guys are getting into all of this bad. You guys have this personal beef with Tariq.
No.
So you being me. Listen, no. But see, we're talking about. We're talking. Well, that's yours. You have a right to feel that way, brother. You have a right to feel. I don't feel that way. And we're never gonna agree.
But that's not what we're talking about, brother.
No, what you're doing, you're slandering somebody else. You're slandering the brother.
Okay, can we start over? Brother, you my elder. Can we start over? Listen, because the Nashidian is strong in you. Listen, the Nashidian is strong in you. So let me go ahead and separate that. Forget that, because I felt foolish. I felt like I was. It's like talking sometimes.
No, that was very
to
powerful.
My son,
but let me say this to gravitating away, brother. That was very powerful. There was nothing babbling about that. I am very. Let me finish.
I want to move. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, let me say this. I am very impressed that a 38-year-old man has arrived to be responsible in his language and be responsible in his stance for the unity of our people. Most brothers haven't gotten it at 50. The importance of our
who goes to the best churches,
all us in hate,
and it's right here.
When it comes to selling your products online, Instagram can help your business connect with people who
really talk to this brother, man. I don't. You want me to sit up here and argue for another man? Listen, hold on. You want me to sit up? You want me to sit up here?
I'll hold him accountable.
Please, because you coming to another man complaining about another man, bro. You can't do that, bro. You talk about your girl.
Brother,
You
stop, man.
complaining,
Let's
man.
not
You
discuss.
complaining.
This is
You
a
complaining,
discussion,
man.
brother.
You,
Stop. Bro, this is a discussion for the liberation
yeah,
of
but
our
that's for another
people.
man.
This is a discussion.
No, to the point.
I don't even. Yo, listen. I never even talked to Tariq. Yo, listen. I never even talked to Tariq in my life. I never talked to Tariq in my life.
No matter millions when they got.
You said Babel several times. You said Babel.
By the way, my real name is Meat.
Only time that I. So, brother, I'm gonna let you take us out because I know you tired, brother.
Okay, so listen. I was trying to get to the part where Big T got so angry he wanted to fight, and he asked the man something about, do I need to slap you or something like that? But it just goes to show how angry FBA some of them can get. The Puerto Ricans, they get very upset and hostile and aggressive and mad. And there's no need to get mad because simply people don't agree with you. People don't have to agree with you. They're not obligated to. And people have a right to express their views and opinions just as they do. But they can't take it. They can't take it when someone does not go along with them and Bussy Reek's nefarious narrative. They want to fight. Now, I saw a person in the chat by the name of Alonso. Alonso said, FBA is not a brand. That's op talk. Well, Alonso, let me say this to that. FBA is a brand, okay? You trademark your brand, okay? My name, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, is a brand. That's why I trademarked it. FBA is trademarked. It is a brand. Sit down somewhere. And with that all being said, Nike is a brand, okay? It's trademarked. Coca-Cola is a brand. It's trademarked. FBA is a brand, whether you want to admit that or not. You know, you can sit there and get in your emotions, many of you can, and you can say that things are not what they are, but that doesn't stop them from being exactly what they are. Now, another thing is this. He also asked the young man, where was he born? He was born in America. Now, he said his families came from Haiti. They have Haitian ancestry, of course. They came from Haiti, but they came here when they were in preschool, I believe he said. But here's the thing. He made a very good point. He said they could both be from Mobile, Alabama, but the minute he disagrees with them, he's no longer FBA. He had to come from somewhere else. This is true because someone said this to me just yesterday, and they say this a lot. They say, where's your people from, by the way? My people are from the United States. That's where they're from. Turtle Island, okay? Formerly known as Turtle Island. That's where they're from. The fact that I don't agree with Bussy Reek is so stupid for these fools. You see, these Bussy Reekans are completely stupid because if I don't agree with him, that means I'm not from the United States. Do you see how foolish they are? Okay, they're a hate group, says Broken Silence. Yes, they absolutely are a hate group. They're idiots. And they say the same talking points as the wanton supremacists. They say the same thing as the wanton supremacists. So let me tell y'all something. There was one of them that posted something on Twitter that I shared. They were calling Africans monkeys. They were calling them monkeys. That's the same thing racist devils call all of us. They were calling Africans monkeys. And so I posted it and said how disgusting it was. And so then an FBA clown came on there and said, posted something about where Africans were calling us Akatas. And then said, yeah, where are your family from? Well, here's the thing. When Africans call us Akatas, that's ignorant too. That's ignorant too. You see, no matter where you are on this planet, if you are a melanated, heavily drenched in melanin person, it doesn't matter where you came from. If you're talking trash about other melanated people just because of the way they look or where they came from, you're stupid. I don't care if you FBA. I don't care if you call yourself African American. I don't care if you're Trinidadian, Haitian, African, Jamaican. I don't care what you are. If you're talking that type of white supremacist rhetoric to any person who looks like you with the same type of skin that you're in, you are a damn fool. You are in fact sick in the head. And because there are some of us, our own people, and some of other people from different countries who look like us that engage in this foolishness, that doesn't mean I'm going to do it. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it. So when you hear people saying, oh, well, they said it to us. Well, that doesn't mean you should be as stupid as they are. Okay? My grandmother used to say that never argue with a fool because someone passing by may not know the difference. Okay? So with that all being said, I'm not going to sit here and call a melanated person a monkey, okay, because they are from another country. And the same as I wouldn't respect someone from another country who's melanated calling us Akatas. I don't respect that either. The sword cuts both ways. None of us should be doing it. And the fact that any of us do reeks of wanton supremacy. That's where they learned it. But in this case with FBA, they learned it from Tyreek. Bussy Reek. That's where they got it from. Many of them weren't saying these xenophobic, hateful things. They weren't spewing wanton supremacist talking points until they started following that fool, that clown, that thug, okay, that grifter by the name of Bussy Reek. And here's another thing I'll say. If Bussy Reek wants to confront me and have a debate, either on my platform or his or on a Zoom, private or public, I'm ready for it. But you see, Bussy Reek don't want to debate me or challenge me. I've asked before. I've requested it before. So what I want to say is this. For all of you FBA minions who try to come for me and you want to spew insults and foolishness, well, it doesn't bother me. I'm just going to laugh at you because you're clearly silly. Because see, what you do is you try to defend Bussy Reek against me because Bussy Reek won't even defend himself against me. Y'all know what Bussy Reek did, right? Y'all know what Bussy Reek did. Hold on. He told y'all he didn't know me and all of that. Bussy Reek said he didn't know me. Hold on. He said he didn't know me, but he blocked me on Twitter. He blocked me on Twitter. So if he didn't know me or doesn't know me, how did he block me on Twitter? Of course he knows who I am. He knows who the F I am. All right. So minions, please stop being so ridiculous, nonsensical, and making fools of yourselves, and stop trying to get the queen mad, because y'all can't make me mad. You know why you can't make me mad? I'm so glad you asked. Because I don't get all up in my feelings when people talk about how I look or how I talk or how I walk or how I act. I don't get in my feelings about that because I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I love myself. I think I'm beautiful, talented, smart, and all of that. That's what I think. Now, you may not think so. You can disagree and have a contrary opinion, and that's fine. I don't care because it's what I care about myself and think of myself that I hold dear to my own heart, not what fools say. Okay? And what you should do, Bussy Reekians, is you should start paying more attention to the facts and receipts as opposed to the people that disagree. And rather than just getting upset because people disagree, you should pay attention to why they disagree. Some of them love to tell me, oh, but you used to follow Bussy Reek. Yes, I did. I've spent money on Bussy Reek's FBA conference. I absolutely have. I've watched his DVDs. I've spent money on his bug-breaking documentary and that, on all those things. Yes. And so you should ask yourselves, rather than sitting there saying, oh, you used to follow him, now you flipping. Well, rather than ask yourselves that, you should ask yourselves why I flipped. And here's another thing. For those of them that want to say, oh, you flip-flopping about Bussy Reek, you used to like him, now you don't. Well, Bussy Reek flip-flops too. He was cool with Dr. Boyce, and then all of a sudden, Dr. Boyce was Dr. Moist Twatkins. So what now? And then he had Dr. Moist speak at his FBA conference. So I guess they got back together. He was cool with Dr. Umar and had Dr. Umar in one of his hidden colors. Then he fell out with Dr. Umar, and all of a sudden he was going in on him. Now he says favorable things about Dr. Umar. That's because Dr. Umar gave him the ever-loving business. Okay? So don't sit here and tell me that I flip-flop, because I can do that if I want. You see, I don't have any allegiance, loyalty, or alliance to Bussy Reek. I don't have to. It's not written in stone anywhere that I have to be loyal to him. That because I once followed him, that I have to always follow him. That I have to agree with all of his nefarious, foolish talking points. I don't have to do that. You may feel that you have to, but I owe him nothing. You see, my allegiance is to Black people collectively, not to Bussy Reek, all right? So minions, please sit down somewhere. Please sit down somewhere. And if Alonzo is still talking crazy in the chat, moderators, you can block him. Okay, that's what you can do. I don't care about him having a difference of opinion, but if he gets disrespectful, you know what to do. So You know, with that all being said, I find it very sad and pathetic that these two FBA minions went on to Harker's show, thought they had something to say, and made fools of themselves, and then called other people babblers and said they were babbling and all that, when that's what they were doing. Okay, that's what they were doing. And I wanted you all to see the part where, and you can go to Taharka's channel and watch that whole video, okay? Watch the whole video so you can get all the context of everything that was said. Because that fool, Big T, he got so angry at one point, he literally wanted to fight. He wanted to fight. He wanted to fight for a man that he doesn't know in real life, that he's never had the pleasure of meeting, that he's never even seen in real life, shook his head and none of that. He wanted to fight for that man. Now, I have questions because I thought he said he was married, but sounds to me like he really wants to marry Bussy Reek. What y'all think? What y'all think? And here's another thing. Some of the minions, they say, oh, you obsessed with Bussy Reek. And they tell Taharka that, and they tell Michi that, and other people like Brandon from Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. You know, they want to tell us we're obsessed with Bussy Reek. Here's the thing. We're not the ones obsessed with Bussy Reek. You see, if we were obsessed with Bussy Reek, we would do what the Bussy Reekians do. We would defend him tooth and nail. You see, we would go from channel to channel, from social media platform to social media platform, going in on anyone who dared to go against Bussy Reek's narrative. You see, we're not the ones that are obsessed. These people that do these things, they're obsessed fans. Okay, they're Bussy Reek fanatics. So see, they act and behave as cult-like followers because they're in fact obsessed with him. The young lady, Brown Sugar slash FBA all day, she's obsessed with Bussy Reek. Bussy Reek don't give a damn about her. Bussy Reek was praising Becky. He was praising Becky. But she want to call the queen ugly. She want to be mad at the queen. Honey, don't be mad at me. I'm just doing my job. Now, I'm going to show y'all some more footage on some things that Bussy Reek has said in a moment. But before that, let me say this. So when the young man, Ishmael Bey, was saying that Black, as you're one of the racial groups from Africa, when he was saying that, this is what he was talking about. Let me share my screen so you all can see this. Let me share my screen so you all can see this. Okay. Y'all see this? This is a document. Let me show it to you from the top to the bottom. This is ethnicity and race identification. Okay. You'll notice at the bottom, it tells you the definition of each racial or ethnic category. And so where it says Black, when it defines Black or African American, it says a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. Okay, that's what they define it as. Black or African American, they say it's defined as any person having origins in any of the racial groups in Africa. So that's what Ishmael Bey was talking about. But here's the thing. More importantly, let's talk about Bussy Reek. You see, when Bussy Reek says stupid things, childish, nonsensical things, like in the case of Tyree Nichols, those 5 officers, he said, family, they don't look like they have FBA hairlines, family. Well, first of all, he shouldn't be talking about hairlines, period, because his is clearly sprayed on. That's just truth. And he also had those faux locks. So talking about anyone's hair, especially their hairline, is not what Bussy Reek should do. But I want you to pay attention because this is very important. You see, Bussy Reek talks about people's head shapes and their hairlines when he's deciphering whether or not they're FBA or non-FBA. And I want you to pay attention. That's very dangerous what he's doing, because what he is doing, beloveds, whether you know this or not, he's perpetuating the same foolishness and wanton supremacist rhetoric that caused a genocide. It caused a whole genocide in Rwanda. For those of you who know about the Rwandan genocide that happened in the 1990s, Bussy Reek is doing the same thing they did. I want y'all to pay attention, because hold up. Let me pull up my receipts. Because y'all know I come here with the facts, not my emotions, okay? And so now I want you all to see this. Rwanda, why does it matter to us? Okay, so let's talk about it. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I want you all to see this part because this is the part that Bussy Riek is doing. So, you know, there was a Rwandan genocide between FBA and non-FBA people. I'm sorry, not FBA and non-FBA, between Rwandans who considered themselves Hutus and the ones who considered themselves Tutsis, right? And so here's how it all started, first and foremost. It started, hold on, let me unshare this for a second and see what's going on. Okay, I thought the screen was messing up. Hold on, I'm gonna pull that back up. But here's the thing. The Rwandan genocide started because the Hutus and the Tutsis, which were two different groups of people in Rwanda, they were going against one another, which is so ridiculous and nonsensical because they're all Africans. They're all Rwandans, okay? Now, the reason they were doing this is because these Belgian Caucasians came there and started trying to cause division by telling them that one group was superior to the other. And by talking about the sizes of their noses, the sizes of their heads, the shapes of their faces, the colors of their skin. That's the same thing that Bussy Riek is doing. I just need y'all to pay attention. Black people, I need y'all to pay attention, okay? That's why he's very dangerous. This fool with his wanton supremacist rhetoric could have us end up in a whole race war against ourselves, against people who look like us, committing genocide amongst ourselves. That's what he could do. He's possibly capable of doing it. You see how they already have such vitriol for anyone who speaks against him. FBA has turned into a whole hate group. I don't care what they say. That's what they are. And anyone identifying themselves and spewing his same talking points is a dangerous individual. Make no mistake. Okay? But hold on. So here's what it says. Let me share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone, beloveds. Please like and share. Y'all know they have the Queen Shadow Band because I'm doing real work, okay? Not spewing narratives. So the Hutus and Tutsis lived peacefully, side by side, 150 years ago. There was a third group, the Pygmies, who were called Twa. Now, the white men came and declared themselves masters. As a result of the 1985 Berlin Conference, Rwanda was handed over to Germany. During World War I, Urundi became the property of Belgium. In 1919, Belgium received a full mandate from the League of Nations to rule the region. Now, about 90 years ago, the Belgian authorities started to issue personal identity documents to Rwandans. For this purpose, they measured Rwandans' general height. I want y'all to pay attention because this is how they did it. They measured the Rwandans' general height and cataloged their noses and the size of the property. Now, they had no longer noses, or I'm sorry, those who had longer noses and more property were registered as Tutsi in their identity documents. Those who had flatter and shorter noses and less property were registered as Hutu. If a person gained or lost property, they could go from being Tutsi to Hutu or vice versa. Y'all see how stupid this is? It's not even making sense. Despite what the colonists had laid down about them in their own annals, Rwandans still lived side by side in villages. They spoke the same language and understood their history and culture the same way. Now, the Belgians bet on the Tutsi minority. This was the situation as late as a decade before the end of the colonial period. However, 2 years before Rwanda gained independence in 1962, the Belgians helped the Hutu majority to power in rigged elections. The Belgians' principle of divide and conquer, which is what Bussy Riek is doing. That's a wanton supremacist strategy that they've used from day one, and they continue to use it because that's the only thing. That's the only thing that keeps them in power and keeps us oppressed. I need you to understand that. You see, J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat to America was Negro unity, not just the Negroes from America, but any melanated person in America, all right, and globally. Now, goes on to say the Belgians' principle of divide and conquer had undermined the situation, which in reality resulted in increasing violence against the Hutus. More than 100,000 Hutus were forced to leave Rwanda and escape to neighboring countries or even further afield to Europe and the US. So y'all heard that, right? Now I want y'all to ask yourselves, whether you're a Black immigrant, whether you're an African American, or whether you are one who identifies as FBA. I want you to ask yourself, and ask yourself this, and ask Bussy Rick if you dare. How is this, what Bussy Rick is doing, any different from what the Belgians did to the people in Rwanda? And in fact, how is it any different than what the wanton supremacists do to us right now? And also, for Mr. Marcel Dixon, I'd like to ask him, how in the world does he think it's okay for a Caucasian Latina to sit there and talk shite about Pan-Africanists? Aren't some Pan-Africanists FBA? I mean, according to their definition of FBA, wouldn't some of them be classified? Whether or not they identify as that is another thing, but wouldn't they be classified as that? That's right. Juju said it's no different. It isn't any different. So I just need you all to understand that Tyreek, Bussy Reek, not Sh0t, is definitely pushing a wanton supremacist agenda. Okay, make no mistake. You can say that I'm hating, that this is op talk or whatever. You can say whatever you want, Bussy Reekins. But if you don't also think that it's op talk when he's sitting up here going in on Black people and making cartoons and video games, but he's not doing that to any of the white people that have gone in on him online on YouTube and did videos exposing him and calling him an agent. You don't ask yourselves ever, why isn't he making cartoons and video games about them? Why isn't he making cookies about them and Muppet shows about them? You don't ask yourselves that? I think you must be crazy if you don't. You don't wonder why he's out here doxing Black women because they had a disagreement with him, showing their criminal records and all that. Who shows a criminal record to somebody just simply because, not because they're out here scamming, not because they're being detrimental to Black people, but you show their criminal record because you got into a beef with them? How does that make sense? Well, it doesn't make any. That's the thing, you see. It doesn't make any. But let me show a few more clips of Bussy Reek that I posted to Twitter and why some of the Bussy Reekians are upset. Like I said before, sadly for them, I don't give a shite. They'll keep being upset. Okay, as long as I have breath in my body, I'm going to keep exposing the truth and calling out grifters that who are grifting my people. I don't really care what people say, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But hold on, let me pull this up. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, I showed you the video about Becky. Let me pull this one up. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Is this it right here? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. That's not it. That's not what I was looking for. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Now I want y'all to listen to this, and I've played this stuff before, but I just want y'all to hear it again. Because at the end of the day, Bussy Reek is good at painting narratives and keeping up mess. That's what he's good at. And so I'm going to play his audio. Right. Now I want y'all to hear this because I need you to keep in mind while you're listening that this foolish black woman was going in on me. Okay, going in on me all because of Bussy Reek.
Yeah, there should be reparations, but there's a way that we need to do it because black folks as a whole mentally will fuck up any kind of money that's given directly. There has to be some type of structure to it. If you start giving niggas, let's say every black person in America will get $10,000 next month in January, that niggas will be broke again on January 15th. It has to be organized. You cannot give niggas money right now. They'll fuck it right back up. They'll give it right back to everybody else. Going by June, shit. It'll be gone in 15 days.
Now, y'all heard that, but hold on. So he doesn't even think. Now, this is the person who FBA and Bussy Ricans keep telling me and to keep telling us he's fighting for reparations. He's fighting for reparations. This person who said that if we get money, we'll mess it up in 15 days. He's the one fighting for reparations. See, they don't have any sense. And I'm sad that they don't because they really need it. But alas, this is where we are. Hold on. Now, let me play another clip. He's talking in a disparaging manner about black women in this one. Okay. Here we go.
On top of that, they show brothers respect. So the basic union, basically, guys, if you get with a mixed female, it would be best to get with a female who is mixed with a black father and a white mother. That's the ideal one to get with, if you're going to get with one. Basically, guys, if you get with a mixed female, it would be best to get with one. You know, diseases and shit down there in Brazil. But you fuck with these hood rats, you get the same diseases. Shit. Ain't too much of a damn difference.
Okay, so y'all heard what he said. He was telling black men that if they date a biracial woman, make sure they get one who has a black father and a white mother. Because he doesn't think that black women are fit to raise daughters or sons. That's what he thinks. But I just want y'all to pay attention because these foolish FBA minions get mad. They get mad and upset. Brown sugar / FBA all day. FBA all day got so mad with the queen. Bussy Reek wouldn't give her the time of day if he were single. Okay? He wouldn't give her the time of day because he likes biracial women who have white mothers, not black. Just pay attention. And he also said, for the record, and I played the audio for you all before, he said that black women, single black women, should not. See, here's what I want y'all to pay attention to. Jason Hamhock Whitlock said recently that, you know, it's black women, single black women's fault about these black men out here running amok. And Bussy Reek said the same thing. Jason Whitlock could have learned it from him for all we know, because Bussy Reek said it himself. He said that these single black mothers should not get reparations because it's our sons that are out here running amok. That's what he said. That's what he said. Okay, so I just want y'all to pay attention to that. You see, where are the Bussy Reekians now to defend that? They can't defend it. So what they do is they call names and spew insults. Just like the wanton supremacists. That's what they do. You know how the wanton supremacists love to deflect? Like, for example, hold on, I'm getting a text. You know how the wanton supremacists hold on. Somebody wants to know if I'm still live. Okay, so you know how the wanton supremacists, when we start talking about the police deleting unarmed black people, what do they say? Well, what about black on black crime? That's what they say. You see, that's a deflection so that they're not held accountable or called to carpet for their nefarious, egregious practices. But here's the difference. You see, the police have something called qualified immunity. We don't have that. So if Tyrone, Pookie, or Ray Ray go out here and delete, other people who look like them, they're going to prison when they get caught. They don't have qualified immunity. So their whole argument is a straw argument. It's clearly nonsensical. That's what the wanton supremacists do when we bring up things like police brutality upon our people. So the FBA minions who spew Bussy Reek's talking points, that's the same thing they do. You see, they have no valid argument, so they just deflect and gaslight and then project and then start calling you names and trying to spew insults. And none of that bothers me. It won't ever deter me. And in fact, it's only going to make me go harder. But so anyway, let's talk about wig at this point. Okay, let's talk about wig. Now I'm going to pull this up and I need y'all to pay attention. I just need you all to pay attention. So wig has a whole nother grift. Y'all read that? Y'all read that? I'm going to read it to you. It says, Vicki money potion. Oud is the primary magical ingredient in my vault potion. I have an authentic overseas supplier of the world's most potent oud, sourced from the African Middle Eastern regions. Goddesses, this is true luxury. The vault potion is specifically formulated by one of the world's top black master magicians with the intention of extreme wealth. Oud oil potions are the secret of royalty, the wealthy, world leaders, highly ranked spiritualists, and influencers of the masses. Only a limited amount available. Ritual instructions included. Click here to order. So when you click here to order, this is what it says. The Vault's Magical Potion, $157. That's what it says. It's a whole nother grift. We got right back over there to Fly Nubian Queen. She had to go back to Fly Nubian Queen because she was not being successful on her own, you understand? And so she needed them coins that she was getting from Dr. Boyce monthly, and she wanted to do her grifting. So here's the oil right here. You see that little small bottle of oil? That's what you get for $157. You just pray that it works. Okay? Pray that it works. Now, here's the thing. Here's the things. Oud, which she says is the primary ingredient. I'm going to tell you what oud is. Oud is an essential oil. Oud is an essential oil. This oil that Wig is selling, I don't know if she really got it from a world-renowned African magician. She wouldn't give the magician's name. They're world-renowned, but she won't tell the name. She said, y'all know I don't give up my sources. Well, if you're saying that they're world-renowned, that means everybody already knows who they are. So why couldn't she give up the name? Well, because it's a grift. That's why. Now, here's the thing. Somebody said to me on Twitter when I was talking about Bussy Reek and the museum and grifting, they said, you're just jealous because you could never collect $2 million in 1 month in donations. Well, they're absolutely right. I sure couldn't. And you know, the main reason I couldn't do that is because I don't ever beg for donations. You see, if I want to do something, I just do it. I don't ever ask for donations, nor will I ever. So yeah, they're right. I couldn't do that. But here's another thing though. You know, when I was exposing Wig before, some of her little wiglets, they said, oh, you're just jealous. Stop hating, da-da-da. Well, I'm not hating because if I wanted to grift people, I could do it so easily. You see, I make an oil too. Yes, I make an oil too, but my oil isn't magic. You see, my oil that I make comes from the Most High. It's just a natural oil that any of you can make, that any of you can go and buy. You see, I make this oil, I make my own concoction of it for your hair. I make it for your skin. Mr. Hotel knows because I sent him some. I believe I sent Lisa Cabrera and True Royal some. I sent that to them. Okay? for free because they're my friends and I love them. I didn't charge them $157, nor did I lie and tell them that it'll help you manifest extreme wealth. Now, if it actually did, this oil that Wig is selling, if it actually worked and actually made you manifest extreme wealth, don't you think I would buy some? Don't you think I would be ordering some myself rather than sitting here telling you all about it? How do these fools think that I'm hating? If she really had some oil that produced extreme wealth, I would go and buy some myself. Make it all make sense. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you all like this. This is another Peter Popoff moment from Wig, and let me pull up the receipts. Y'all know how it goes down with the queen. Pay attention. Peter Popoff has a new grift. Had a second grift. You remember he had that spring water, the magical spring water. But then Peter Popoff came up with another grift called Miraculous Alabaster Oil. And he says the same thing about his oil that Wig says about hers, coincidentally. Okay, let's get into it. Shout out to Peter Popoff for giving Wig a grift. All right, here's what it says. Can y'all see that? I hope you can. Let me try to zoom in. Y'all know I come with receipts and facts, not emotions ever. Okay? Don't nobody care about how you feel. People want to know the truth. Smart people do anyway. So here's what it says, beloveds. Miraculous Alabaster Oil. Only a very few times in my ministry has the Lord specifically directed me to tell everyone or tell anyone about the alabaster anointing, he says. God showed me an amazing vision. You see, this vision was so incredibly powerful that I'm still quite shaken. You need to hear what God has planned for you. You have the opportunity to express a series of amazing supernatural events that will begin to take place in your life in the days just ahead. These miracles are so powerful that they will truly transform your life. Peter Popoff, sit down somewhere right beside Wig. Please do quickly. All right? That's what Peter Popoff had to say about his alabaster oil. Now let's get into it, because here's another thing. Before that, like I said, Peter Popoff had miracle water. For those of you who don't know about his miracle water, you're about to find out. I'm about to show you the testimonials. Because see, Wig loves to post testimonials too. She loves to post testimonials. All right? Pay attention. Here we go. What you should ask yourself is, these testimonials that Wig posts, are they really real? Because Peter Popoffs sure aren't.
Do you need a miracle? Real people with real needs are receiving real life-changing miracles when they use the miracle spring water.
My husband brought the spring water up and I drank it. And I'm speaking today. I had no speech, totally paralyzed, and now I'm testifying.
You had sent me the water and I used it. You told me I was going to get a check for $7,000. Sure enough, I got a check in the mail. It was exactly $7,000.
This faith tool will help you to see liberation from the bondage of debt. It's free. I want to send it to you. No obligation. Call me now.
And when you told me to anoint my checkbook yesterday, I received a letter for over $45,000 that my second mortgage was paid off.
Get the spring water, drink the spring water, whatever you need to do with it, it really works.
Release your faith now by calling for your free packet of Miracle Spring Water. It's free just for calling.
Okay, so there you have it. Spring water. Miracle spring water, no less. Now, here's the thing. I can respect that Peter Popoff, in his nefarious grift, at least he called it miracle spring water and miraculous alabaster oil. See, Wig didn't call hers a miracle, which would have alluded to her giving some of the credit to the Most High. You see, Wig called hers magical. That's what she said. She said it was magical, how neat. But anyway, let me continue, because I absolutely cannot. All right, I absolutely cannot. But hold on, because here's another person who, in fact, said that they got this oil and some other things from Peter Popoff. So I'm going to show a portion of this video. I'm going to go to the 9 or the 8 minute mark, I believe it is. Okay, so pay attention. I'm about to share my screen. Likes up Everyone, please get the lights up.
Investment for my side hustle. Bye using my home address as a mailing address.
And here we go again. It's his bank account, because he's a scam artist. And he knows it's all bullshit. Of course it does. Some of them, do believe in it, but deep down, they know it's crap. Oh, look. Family, wisdom and peace, healing and deliverance. What am I going to get delivered to me? Prosperity. Unbelievable. Family, yeah, wank. I don't know. Oh, a bit disappointed in this lot. There's just not enough good stuff in here. Couldn't beat the ram's horn. That was the duck's guts, really. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Desires of your heart slip. Wow. Man. Wonder if he comes up with this himself or whether he's got, he must have a whole team. Because this is just a remarkable amount of marketing. It's absolutely... Oh, yeah, more anointing oil. Supernatural prosperity anointing oil as opposed to the miracle spring water. They both look pretty identical, apparently.
Okay. So Peter Popoff is sending out prosperity oil, which means that he's implying that you'll gain wealth and money. So he's doing the exact same thing, or shall I say Wig is doing the exact same thing that he did. Now, there's something called prosperity preachers. Okay. Now I want y'all to listen to this. This is the late, great Reverend Ike, who was also known as a prosperity preacher. And here's what Reverend Ike used to say. Pay attention. Hold on. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share.
Prayer is a positive mental transaction.
Hold on. Let me start it over. Here we go.
Is not answered by a God in the sky. I want to give you a new definition for prayer, some of you. Prayer is a positive mental transaction within your own mind. Prayer is a positive mental transaction within your own mind. And so as such, prayer is not even a religious exercise. Prayer is what you say to yourself within yourself. Prayer is what I say about myself within myself.
Okay, now y'all heard what Reverend Ike said. You see, Reverend Ike was a good minister. I love Reverend Ike. Okay, Reverend Ike would teach you about manifesting. And that's the same thing I teach on my spiritual channel. I teach people about manifesting. And so those of you who follow my spiritual channel, you know that you don't need to purchase Wig's oil or Peter Popoff's oil to manifest. You see, the power of manifestation is within you, just like the kingdom of God is within you. So let me tell you something. This oil that they're trying to sell you, Wig and Peter Popoff, it's all a load of BS. Okay, it's a grift. Because there's an oil that your body makes that allows you to have the power to manifest. And that oil comes from your brain, inside of your brain, from the colostrum. For those of you who know, I've told you this before. So you have a process that happens. It can happen if you're eating clean, and living a good life and not engaging in all manner of fornication and those things. Every month, 12 times a year, you have the ability to raise what is known as the Christ within energy, which raises you into your higher self. When this process happens, there is a sacred oil that is secreted from your brain, from the center of the brain, the part known as the colostrum. I told you that the word colostrum is where they got the word Santa Claus. When they say Santa Claus delivers gifts and goes down a chimney, because this oil that comes from the colostrum is a gift from the Most High. It is called a sacred oil, and it travels down the 33 vertebrae of the spine and then back up to the optic thalamus, and then it activates the pineal gland. and bursts through your heart and throat chakras. And when it activates the pineal gland, it gives you a strong power to manifest. Now, even if you don't produce this oil because you haven't been living clean, you still have the ability to manifest. The oil just makes it more potent. So here's the thing that Wig is doing. I want y'all to pay attention. What Wig is in fact doing is she's telling people that she can send you this miracle oil, this magical oil for $157, along with the incantations that you say during the ritual. She's telling you and wants you to believe that that is going to make you manifest when it's not. What's really going to make you manifest is the power of belief, of manifestation that's within you. The oil that's in your own brain, not the oil that you purchase. You see, in the Bible, when it speaks of someone being anointed, and thou head was anointed with oil, when it says that in the Bible, that's an allegory. They don't really anoint your head with oil. You see, you're already anointed. You were born anointed by the Most High. You were born with the ability to produce your own oil for manifestation. So you don't need to buy any oil from Wig nor Peter Popoff, beloveds. Now, if you choose to, that's fine, but I'm just letting you know that it's a grift. Okay? I'm just letting you know that it's a grift. So you can manifest extreme wealth by yourself through power of determination, belief, and focusing your thoughts and energies on things. Whatever you focus your thoughts and energy on, that's what manifests. If this oil that Wig had actually worked, why is she on YouTube grifting? She wouldn't have to be on YouTube. If she had extreme wealth, she wouldn't have to be selling oil, peddling, snake oil. You see, Wig is a snake oil salesman. And you see, when I was exposing her before, she ran to the white man and then sent me a cease and desist. As you can see, I'm still talking because I'm telling no lies on Wig. I'm not defaming her in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This ain't slander because it's truth. So with that all being said, she can send you this oil, and when you're trying to manifest things and focusing your energy on things and things start to happen in your life and you start to get money, you'll foolishly think that it's because of Wig's oil. She knows that. It's not because of her oil. It's because of the oil that's in your colostrum. It's because of the power and ability that the Most High gave you to manifest. You understand? You are the God of your life, or the goddess of your life. We are not the God, but we are a God. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that with you all so that you all stay informed and all of that. And for the fools who say, oh, I'm hating, oh, you just mad, and you the op and all that. Well, they say those things, quite frankly, oh, you ugly and this and that. They say those things because they don't have anything else that they can say to debunk the things that I'm saying. Okay, that's all it is. Lee Harv said she's playing mind games. Yes, absolutely. Okay, see, I come here to show love to my people by keeping you educated and informed, not to grift. I don't ask you for anything. And in fact, I've given you all numerous free ebooks when I was having the trivia every Friday. I did that for months. You see, I don't come here to grift. And if I sell you something, you can guarantee that it's going to work. It's not going to be any type of magical miracle oils. You see, I leave the miracles to the Most High to perform. That's what I do. And I don't work and dabble in magic. That's what I don't do. And I don't have to sell you fake debit cards and keys and things like Wig did to get you to manifest or sell you incantations. All I have to do is tell you affirmations that you can say and speak upon yourself. And I do that for free. Okay, I don't have to tell you to conjure up things. I don't have to tell you to do that because you can channel things. Conjuring is what you do when you're being nefarious and you're trying to reach out to malevolent entities and spirits. But when you're trying to be a righteous person and trying to, have a better connection with the Most High, then you want to channel things. You want to channel the energy of the Most High. You want to channel your inner self, channel your ancestors. That's what you want to do. Okay, you don't have to sit here and pay for grits, all right, and have people trying to fool you as if you need to buy this magical so-called oil all right, wigs, magic potion, and all of that. You don't have to buy that to manifest. You can do it for free. The oil is within you, within your own brain, within your classroom. And remember, anything that you focus your energy on will absolutely manifest anyway, okay? So this is why I tell people on my spiritual channel, don't say negative things about yourself. Don't say negative things about your children and people that you love, because there's power in words, and the things that you say absolutely become reality. So speak positively upon yourself, about yourself, to yourself, and upon those you love, specifically your children. And let the light of the Most High shine within you, because if thy eye be single, thy body is full of light. Okay, when you're looking at things with your third eye, which I call the first eye, absolutely, you will see things for what they really are. Sadly, I can tell that the Puerto Ricans are looking at things with their pair of eyes, and the pair of eyes lie to us very often. That's why people say, do my lying eyes deceive me? Okay. So with that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. Also to those of you, or the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show, and those of you on the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I wish you all love, peace, and light. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, beloveds, I hope you all enjoy your strong end, not your weekend that leaves you weakened in a weakened state. Okay? But your strong end. Until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your
Ahmadiyyah.
skin?
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going